Hey there, chat. Welcome to today's stream of Walden, a game where we are a poet, philosophist, essayist, Henry David Thoreau. That's right. Walden is based on the poet, whoever guy, from the past that decided, hey, I'm pretty sure if I remember my history properly, back in high school times when he was like, yo, what's up, other writer people? You want to go down and start a cool artist commune where we just make shit and live in nature and like do some cool writings? And so they did that, and then they didn't do a very good job because what do you think's gonna happen in this little artist commune where everyone is supposed to be working together, surviving in nature, and they're a bunch of just writers? What do you think's gonna happen? They're all going to totally successfully bring up their little gardens and not just slack off and sit around and write and be like, nah, maybe today I won't go, work on my growing potatoes, and instead I'm going to go sit by the pond and write some cool poetry. Did they not expect that was going to happen? They just all had this flowery vision of everything going perfect and great and wonderful because, hey, they're all working together and everything will be perfect. Yeah, so it basically makes it so this is a historical fiction stream, because we're out at Walden. So, yeah, no utopia here. Failed artist utopia. Whoops. But, it's nice for a little while where everyone's got, like, good ideals and whatnot, and they're like, yahoo, what do you mean? They can write their own food. They don't need to grow it. They can just eat the paper they're writing on, even. They don't have to grow food. We don't even need to grow food. There's food out here to just straight collect. Berries. And there's some wild animals running around. Just catch and eat some of them, right? Let's see. But this is one of the games that was in that Itch.io bundle. And I came across it, and it was like, this is interesting. And I started playing, and it's like, oh my god. It's just basically like a little bit like one of those survival games, but as you walk around, because I'm cool poet man, I also pause to make very poetic commentary on what I'm collecting, or just general commentary on the world around me, or like, philosophical thoughts, because I'm a cool writer person, of course. So, I hope you're ready, chat, to join me out here in the wild, where I collect food and wander around. Maybe I'll plant some crops. Maybe I'll add some extra planks to the house I'm living in. Who knows? Hopefully it doesn't rain before I get to that part, though, because then I'll just be out in nature underneath the sky with the rain pouring down on me, thus getting soaked. A starving poet game. It will be if I don't remember to pick all the berries off every bush. Then it will be a starving poet stream. I guess even then, if I'm just only ever eating berries, if I run out of berries, then I start starving. Uh-oh. Whew. All right. So, shall we get started then in this nature world? Wait, first, get rid of that. And then we move in. Here we go with Walden. It's a game. You can see it labeled right there. Walden, a game. So let's start this up. New game. Look at the beautiful water. Feels like it's right there.
Because I wish to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life, and not, when I came to die, discover that I had not lived.
We gotta go live first.
I wanted to live deep and suck out all the marrow of life. To live so sturdily and Spartan-like is to reduce it to its lowest terms. And, if it proved to be mean, to get the whole and genuine meanness of it. Or if it were sublime, to know it by experience, and to give a true account of it.
Sure, Henry. And hello, Blue Fox, and welcome to the stream. Alright, to begin living Thoreau's experiment, seek out the glittering arrowheads throughout the woods. The first one is on the rock between you and the cabin. Move close, center, and press A over objects like arrowheads to interact with them. Here we can see, hanging out, right there, there's an arrowhead.
When I wrote the following pages, or rather the bulk of them, I lived alone in the woods, a mile from any neighbor, in a house which I had built myself, on the shore of Walden Pond, in Concord, Massachusetts, and earned my living by the labor of my hands only.
Press and hold B or RT over anything in the wood to inspect it closely. Right, I zoom in, look at that, wow. As much as sportsmen go in pursuit of ducks and gunners of musquash, and scholars of rare books, and travelers of adventures, and poets of ideas, and all men of money, I go in search of arrowheads.
When I first took up my abode in the woods, my house was not finished. It was a pleasant hillside where I worked, covered with pine woods, through which I looked out on the pond, and a small open field in the woods where pines and hickories were springing up.
Yep, so this is where I'm living right now. This beautiful house that is incredibly small. You can see that there's not a lot in it. Remember to press and hold B and look over things like bushes, blah, blah, blah. I'm pretty sure it, just told us about that. Please. Wood pile. Every man looks at his wood pile with a kind of affection. I love to have mine before my window, and the more chips the better to remind me of my pleasing work. I put my pile of wood just outside. That way, while inside my house, I can hang out and just be like, look at that wood. See that wood? I did that. I am so good chopping trees down and gathering them into a pile. Wow. Why would you move your things into an unfinished frame of a house? Easy, because otherwise they'd be sitting outside in the complete nature. At least this is a step up. I can plan out the layout of my house. Because why would I just leave it outside sitting next to the house, you know? I've got this base all set up, might as well fill it with stuff. Wood pile serving its primary function, aesthetic. Really boosts to the self-esteem, too. So let's see, I've also got a shelf already stuck up on the wall. I haven't even finished the wall, and I've already got something up there. I've got a little desk and a chair. Got a book placed down on it so I can do my writings. I have a table with a bunch of letters on it. Another chair, so that's 2 chairs. I've got an arrowhead on the ground. I've got a pile of sacks. Maybe there's something interesting in them. Maybe they're there just to make the house look fuller. I'm not really sure, but why not? Then I've got a jacket and a shirt. And I've got this telescope. Can I take this telescope? No. Spyglass, I amused myself with looking through a spyglass at the tops of the woods and the horizon. It was pleasant to bring them so near and individualize the trees. I could easily have seen a hawk sailing over the top of the wood, and possibly his nest in some higher tree. Wow. With this spyglass, I really see the trees as individuals, rather than as just an entire group. And hello there, GB, and welcome to the stream. This looks like when I built a house in CDDA. Truly, when you go around in Cataclysm and you just slap down a couple of loose frames and say, yep, this is my house now. Now, I did have a letter out here with some leaves stabbed through it casually to make sure that the paper's not gonna fly away or something. Let's read it.
July 4th, 1845. Dearest Henry, congratulations on the start of your experiment. I hope that the work goes well and the ideas are fruitful. Mr. Emerson says you are intent to devour yourself in our woods, but I hope that you will remember to take good care and keep yourself well. Mother worries, as do I. Your loving sister, Sapphire.
I'm going to eat myself out here, that's right. Devour myself. Oh, I can reread that mail too. That way I can always remind myself how my sister said I'm going to devour myself out here in the woods. Let me pick up
There is
this
some of the
arrowhead
same
too.
fitness in a man's building his own house that there is in a bird's building its own nest. Who knows, but if men constructed their dwellings with their own hands and provided food for themselves and families simply and honestly enough, the poetic faculty would be universally developed, as birds universally sing when they are so engaged.
Truly, just live out in nature, write poetry. That's the perfect life. I do also actually have a ceiling built in, so as long as I stay over here at my bed, I won't get totally damp, you know, hopefully it won't be windy and the rain and wind is just sent right through all the spots that are open. I don't think I said Lord Mong, hello also to you and welcome to the stream. But I think I also have a table over here, yeah, with a couple of wood planks on it. Got a hammer. Got a couple of nails, all prepared together to build this house. And hello there, what's it, the get, and welcome to the stream also. Yes, carpentry! That way I can finish building the house, and, you know, though, I could also just continue wandering around, looking at pretty trees, individualizing them, thinking about the great writings I can do, or pick up this pre-built square, press and hold the left trigger, and use the right stick to make the motion shown by the arrow. Oh, man. Press LT and use the right stick again to keep working, or use the left stick to move away from the task. Got it. Wow. Come on, there we go. I got it. Last nail, bang. And one more. Wait. There we are. Uh-oh, I did not do the right motion. There we are. I got it. Wow. Your shelter is progressing nicely. You have completed 2 walls. Oh my god. I never knew building a house was so easy. All I had to do was pull out a little frame and, like, hammer down 2 nails, and bang. Oh my god. Alright, let's see if we can speed run this house building. Here we go. Come on. There we are. And then I'll have the house completed in no time. I might not have gone out to collect any food, but that's okay. At least I'll have my household together. Does this leave the final wall here? Come on, there we go. Alright, a little bit awkward. Oh, I can see that house pop in the background there. Oh, I've completed the 4 walls of my house, but I still need the roof done. So I better keep hammering away to make sure that's all completed. Poet and a tiny house enthusiast. True, because there's nothing else on the house. The house is so teeny tiny, I can only just fit my bed and such on it. Uh-oh. I'm out of energy. And it's getting dark. I gotta take out my lantern. Press Y to take out or put away your lantern. 3 nails later, poof, easy. So now I need windows and a chimney to complete the house. I've put down a bunch of brick prepared. Got just right now empty spots. I mean, though, really, this is much better than what it was. Since before, all I had up was the framework. I never knew building a house was so easy. Man, I don't know why it takes so long to build houses in real life. Oh, letter? Let me grab that.
July 1845. My dear Henry, Mr. Emerson has assisted my family in acquiring a house near Concord, and there we are now.
Hang on, let me see if I can bring up the dialogue just a touch, because I think it might be a little bit quiet.
Like philosophers, which is to say, with little but happily. I will visit you soon and bring Mr. Garrison of the Liberator. We have all been so inspired by his earnest and unequivocal writings regarding the moral stain of slavery on our nation. Perhaps he will speak at our Lyceum on the topic. Yours truly, A. Bronson Alcott.
I see. He'll visit me at some point, but I don't know where he'll stay. I don't really have a lot of space. Maybe he can roll out a sleeping bag along the ground right here, just squeezing. The head of the bed not being against the wall is bothering me on a level I did not expect. Yeah, if I had turned my bed around, then it'd be up against the wall, but at the time, it's not. I guess I've positioned my bed like this, and the head's not up against the wall, because when it's here, I can casually, turn my head over to the left a little bit. Oh, and there's the outside. Beautiful forest trees. I think I might name some of them, since they're not far away, and I do want to maximally individualize the trees. Like this one right here. Perhaps we'll name him Peter. This is Peter the tree now. And there are so many trees out here, we should be sure to name the ones closest to our house, as they are the ones that will be the most friendly and be spending the most time with us, providing us with the max amount of quality time. Oh, I guess it's time to sleep. Wow, look at this, I'm writing in my book. Nice open windows, perfect for the Wendigos to get in. Temporarily, anyway. Don't worry. We'll come back to finish those windows later. Alright, so I can use left and right directional buttons to turn the pages. Here we go. Early summer. I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life and not, when I came to die, discover that I had not lived. Hang on. I think this is what he read out, like this was the voice acted bit at the beginning. When I wrote the following pages, or rather the bulk of them, I lived alone in the woods, a mile from any neighbor, in a house which I had built myself. Wait, I think I read that part too. I think all of these little pieces are what I'm writing down from like the arrowheads that I'm picking up. I looked out the pond in a small open field and the woods where pines... Oh, whoops, I closed the book. Well, done with that, then. You have another letter? Do I? I do. You may get more mail as the days pass. As time goes on, I will receive... Hang on. Or like birds delivering these? Because I'm certainly not near any post service. I don't think. Did I like stop by some postman and say, hey, I live out there, you know, I'll just like take like 500 paces in this direction and you'll come across a house, that's my house, just set the letters outside on the ground for me, alright? I'm running low on food stores. Food jar icon will appear in the lower left corner when I need food or I'm eating food or something. I can see that jar in the lower left there. Guess that indicates how much food I have. Letter from Emerson, offering to lend you an axe, huh? Let me grab that.
July 1845. Dear Henry, you've told me yourself that it is difficult to begin anything without borrowing, and I know that you can use an axe.
Axes
so
are
I've left
useful.
one for you in my front yard by the chopping stump. Do come by any time to fetch it. Perhaps we can discuss the new lecture I am working on while you are here. Your friend, Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Hey, just swing on by my house, grab my axe. Maybe you can cap a seat down and we can discuss this lecture I've got. Rather than, you know, you going out and continuing to work on your home and survival. Red X on the map in my journal, huh? Oh, yes, you can see up there, Emerson's house marked with an X. I'm not very far away from that. Here, I've just taken like a short walk away to the pond, and I'm like, yes, I am out in nature now, I swear. But it's just like a 10-minute walk to get back to civilization. So it's like, I'm not really in any risk or danger at all. All I have to do is walk away a little bit and I can get everything I need. Running low on food because I was too lazy to go out and collect something. No problem. I'll just walk to my good old buddy Emerson's house. Wish nature would shut the heck up. Please turn up the volume of nature so that I can hear all the wonderful birds chirping away, the crickets chirping away also, but in a different fashion. And all that map sure makes it look like Emerson's got a massive mansion while you're out here in this dinky doorless shack. I mean, I've got my dinky doorless shack because I'm trying to be all like cool and be like, I am a man of simplicity. I do not need all of the many rooms of amusement. I do not need a drawing room. I do not need a kitchen of any sort. I do not need a dining room. That's right, this is my humble abode because I am living simply. And then I just walk my way back over to Emerson's house and hang out there all day. And then I return back to mine at night, where I then sleep and pretend like I'm actually living in nature. The summer that Caco went shack crazy and named everything in the forest around her Peter. Oh my god, when I named the tree Peter, I'm just gonna go around and name every tree Peter. And just forget. Or do I forget I just intentionally name all of the trees Peter because they're both individuals, thus they are named, but because they all are living together in this world and form together as a single entity, the forest, they all are the same name to represent such a thing. And here I am, you can see all the berries on this blueberry bush. I guess it's a blueberry bush anyway, that's kind of what those look like, right? Oh yes, I make my supper of blueberries and lay up a store for several days. The fruits do not yield their true flavor to the purchaser of them, nor to him who raises them for the market. It is early summer. This plant is ripe. Press A to pick it. That's right. The men who go out and buy their blueberries, or the blueberries raised for the purpose, of selling them, they are not nearly as good as these wild blueberries that I am harvesting with my own 2 hands. Where I also just infinitely grab them. Like, these are a lot of blueberries. I don't know why I need to grow any food at all. Go out and catch any fish over there at, like, the pond. I can see that there's water over there. I could certainly go fishing. But no, why should I catch any fish when I can just live off of blueberries? Or any other sort of berries I find out here. Like, are there other types of berries? Can I find things like blackberries? I see there's a rabbit here. The hairs were so nearly the color of the ground that they could hardly be distinguished when still. That's right, I'm looking at this rabbit, I'm like, oh my god, I can barely see him. Chat, it's like one of those I Spy games where it says, where's the rabbit? I can't tell where he is. Please point him out to me because I can't tell. Sometimes in the twilight, I alternatively lost as recovered sight of one sitting motionless under my window. Or like Dora the Explorer, yeah. Can you tell me where the thing in the background's at? Point it out to me, everybody. Is there supposed to be something there? There was a rabbit, I think? It was hard to tell. It blended in so well with the earth. Okay. Wait a second. Bean field? There's a bean field right here. Do you see that? I guess I'm gonna be growing some beans to eat. Yep, right there. Bean field. Right now, though, I'm following... I think this is a path. I think this is a path over to my good old buddy Emerson's place. Slowly making our way up there. That's our task, I suppose, since he said we should come on by to borrow, steal, and keep his axe.
I am no more lonely than the loon in the pond that laughs so loud, or than Walden Pond itself. I am no more lonely than a single mullein or dandelion in a pasture, or a bean leaf, or a sorrel, or a horsefly, or a bumblebee. I am no more lonely than the millbrook, or a weathercock, or the North Star, or the south wind, or an April shower, or a January thaw, or the first spider in a new house.
Henry says, trying to convince himself that he isn't bored to tears and wished he had someone to talk to. I'm not lonely, I swear, just like all of these other totally not lonely things. Come on. Oh, another arrowhead.
All sound heard at the greatest possible distance produces one and the same effect, the vibration of the universal lyre, just as the intervening atmosphere makes a distant ridge of the earth interesting to our eyes by the azure tint it imparts to it.
And listening to the sounds of nature will give me inspiration. I hear bird chirping. I think that was an owl. Wait, cow. Where the heck is there a cow? Maybe up over the hill there? Huh. Bird tell me to kill? Ooh. Murder inspiration. How long until the centipedes move into your house? I don't know, but if they move in, I hope they're going to pay some rent, because I could collect up that cash money to take over to town to buy some goods for my living out in nature. Seriously, look at this. I didn't walk very far to get from my house, wherever it was over in that direction, to get to here. Kind of a cop-out to be like, yeah, I'm living out in my own in nature, you know, brave in the wild. And here's fucking Emerson over here. Not even a 5-minute walk away. He's even apparently got a goddamn sign outside his house pointing to the town that's also probably not a very long walk away. See, he's even got a label here.
Huh.
This is the home. Oh my god, in the background, do you see that? That guy? Oh my god. Where'd he go? Wait, I think I saw there. Oh, just peeking through all the trees. There he is. There he goes. Look at him. Look at him run. Who is this person? Naruto running? Is it a Wendigo? Bigfoot, clearly. Why is he running? I don't know. Is he running from something? Emerson's house. I intend to build me a house which will surpass any on the main street in Concord in grandeur and luxury, as soon as it pleases me as much and will cost me no more than my present one. Someday, I'm gonna build a house
Interesting.
even fancier than Emerson's over here. When I feel like it, anyway. One day, I too will build a mansion by my own hands. I swear it. I like the Wendigo idea. The kid's just being chased by a Wendigo, and actually, this is a horror story. There's a chopping stump right there. Wood choppers spending their lives in fields and woods are often in more favorable mood for observing nature than philosophers or poets even. You could chop firewood here if you had an axe. And Emerson did offer to let me borrow his. Memories, huh? So orange glowing arrowheads reveal memories?
It's very good to make your acquaintance, Mr. Thoreau. Your sister seems to believe our thoughts and philosophies are very much aligned. It is good to find a youth so interested in the finer fruits of thought.
He's also apparently just left. Wait a second. Oh, no, never mind. For a second, I was like, he left his door open. And I'm looking and I'm like, does he even have a door on this house? And yeah, it's just opened quite wide. What are these? He's got a cup and ball. How contagious are boys' games? A short time ago, they were spinning tops all the country over. Now every boy has a stick, curved at the end, for hockey in his hand, whether in yards or in distant lanes I meet them. Cleaning up toys earns 3 cents. Wow! You clean up young Waldo's toys and earn money from Emerson. Damn. Imagine if you could just get paid for going around and picking up after well, I start saying that, but technically if you're like a babysitter,
Men have become the tools of their tools.
it's kind of like that.
The man who independently plucked the fruits when he was hungry has become a farmer, and he who stood under a tree for shelter, a housekeeper. We now no longer camp as for a night, but have settled down on earth and forgotten heaven.
Truly. I think we've got some wood here. Let's see. Pull out my lantern. There we go. Wait a second. Why am I working again? What exactly am I going to be building over by Emerson's house? Is Emerson trying to, like, get me to build shit for
Good
him?
evening.
Well,
Hello.
oh, I didn't think I'd actually come across people. What is this game? It's Walden. A game. I'm Henry David Thoreau, and I'm living out in the woods. And I'm also apparently incredibly short. Like, if I'm looking straight forward like this, I'm looking at his chest area. Is Emerson just really tall, or am I just really short?
Oh, Henry, how goes your new experiment? Has genius struck yet at my woodlot?
By the way, hello there, Zick and Mortis, and welcome to the stream. Alright, so, clearly, the experiment going extremely well.
Yes, in fact, the experiment is going quite well.
Excellent to hear. I do look forward to reading your new work. I hope you are keeping a good journal, full of your insights about life in the woods.
Of course, what
Since
else would
you're
I be
here,
doing
I could
out
use
here?
your assistance with some research I'm doing for a new lecture. Could you spare the time to help me?
Yeah, I just got in here and it started to get dark, so I definitely
Certainly.
have the time.
Well, thank you. I know you're quite busy with your own work, but I need help finding my copy of Homer's Iliad. I saw that you were reading it down by a new cabin. Do you still have it there?
Well, I haven't seen it yet, but I can
I
go
haven't
look
seen
for it, I
it, but
suppose.
I can look for it.
Wonderful. Let me mark the very spot I think I left it on your map so that you can find it. In the meanwhile, I found some books on bean planting and local wildlife you might find useful. I put them on the table in my library for you.
Bean book guidebook.
That
Perfect.
shouldn't be difficult to find. I'll see you again soon.
Alright, we want to steal those books from him. That way I know more about bean growing. And honestly, the older guy sounds... Yeah, Emerson over here. Ralph Waldo Emerson. I would that I were worthy to be any man's friend? Okay. His voice kind of reminds me of, like, Winnie the Pooh. Old Farmer's Almanac. I'll take that. Seasonal climate of Massachusetts, huh? Oh. It became too late at night, so it's cut me off. So all I managed to get was that Farmer's Almanac. I'm gonna have to... I don't know if I'm gonna wake back up in Emerson's house here, or if it's gonna take me back to my cabin. But if it takes me back to my cabin, we'll have to make another trip out here so I can come back for that bean guidebook. And again, I think... Oh yeah, see, okay, so I have a choice. I can teleport back to my cabin, or I can just wake up right over here, which is probably the better choice. That way I can easily grab the books and then head back home. So, it's like I've just had a sleepover. Thanks for letting me stay the night. Local wildlife. Take that. Many wild and domesticated animals. We've got some local birds like blue jays, chickadees, wood thrushes, song sparrows, hummingbirds, nighthawk, and others, I'm sure. Edible plants. That'd be useful. We've got wild apples, huckleberry, blackberry, smooth sumac, ground nut, high bush blueberry, wild strawberries. There's also purslane and beans! Plantable from spring to late fall in cleared land. Beans require 6 day cycles from planting to harvest and will wither in winter. See Farmer's Almanac for detailed planting and growth cycle. Let's get some edibles. Unfortunately, the good edibles, weed, aren't listed in here, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to get any of those. It's thoroughly disappointing. Alright, I'm not seeing anything else on this table here other than these 3 books, so I guess the closest to the bean guide is maybe this Farmer's Almanac. Reading books that will... Oh, that I find in the woods will give me inspiration. Uh-oh, I'm also getting low on my food stores. Eat any mushrooms you come across. I've heard they're always safe to eat, right? I'm sure they are. I could always pick the mushrooms first and offer them to Emerson to test for me. So, in spring, summer, or fall, plant beans in soil that has been cleared of weeds. The last viable day to plant beans is the first day of early fall. Weeding wheat may sprout each of the second and third days after planting and must be cleared that day or the bean plants will wither. There's also blossoming, harvesting, weather warning. If beans have not been harvested by winter, they will wither and die. Withered plants leave brush that must be cleared before the plot can be used again. So the cycle of growth is clear and plant, weed, plant is fully grown, blossoms, and then ready to harvest. It only takes 6 days to grow beans? I never knew they went so fast. Chat, when are we going to get together to live out in the woods and start a little Twitch streamer and viewer commune where I just hang out in the fancy house and you all are doing all the work building the house for me? Got some letters. Oh, another toy. Let me grab that, tidy it up, get some cash money for it. That sounds kind of culty. I don't know what would make you think that. Sounds horrible. Let's do it! Perfect idea. And hello there, Spoolie and Battle Sheep, and welcome to the stream. And thank you for following, Battle Sheep. Appreciated. I'm only into it if it's culty. Truly, that really amps up the action. If it's a cult commune. I mean, otherwise, what is it? Just a bunch of people hanging out in the woods. That's no fun. You gotta turn it into cult. That way you can have some exciting cult antics. And hello there, Duke Cateron, and welcome to the stream. I have always joked growing up, I'll only join your cult if everyone is wearing bright-colored leg warmers. Oh. Well, perhaps we could gather those up, you know? Wait! If we're living out in the commune, we raise some sheep, shear their wool, spin it into usable yarn, and then we just make our leg warmers ourselves. And what is this game? I'm too lazy to Google it. It's Walden, where I, Henry David Thoreau, poet, philosopher, essayist, am living out in nature to get inspiration and to really feel like I'm part of the nature. I think I also forgot to grab the axe while I was up there at Emerson's house, so now I'm gonna have to go walk back and grab that. Well, yeah, and it is just a bunch of stinky old artists sitting around in the woods, talking all cool-like and being all poetic at the same time about it. Nature, that's disgusting. Please, you only say that because you haven't lived out here. And now excuse me while I collect more blueberries to eat, because my food stores are getting low. We can have cult names for them like astronaut boots. True, we could make entire like cult uniforms. And name all the different pieces. Alright, food stores. It's now just kind of blinking the symbol instead of leaving it up the entire time. You're right, all my life I've lived in this house. Should I go outside? Definitely. It's the only way you're going to be able to find true inspiration for any artistic works you're working on. Alright, my food store icon is now green. And what is this?
Interesting.
Old man mushrooms. Every countryman and dairymaid knows that the coats of the fourth stomach of the calf will curdle milk. And what particular mushroom is a safe and nutritious diet? Well, I suppose these mushrooms are not one for a safe and nutritious diet because it won't let me grab them. So I guess I'll just leave those growing, and there's another arrowhead here, so let me grab that.
My house was on the side of a hill, immediately on the edge of the larger wood, in the midst of a young forest of pitch pines and hickories, and half a dozen rods from the pond, to which a narrow footpath led down the hill. In my front yard grew the strawberry, blackberry, and life everlasting, John's wort and goldenrod, shrub oaks and sand cherry, blueberry and groundnut.
Sounds like I don't really need to grow those beans. Why grow anything? Why spend the time planting all these beans and growing them when my yard is already so full of nutritious goods?
My residence was more favorable not only to thought, but to serious reading than a university. And though I was beyond the range of the ordinary circulating library, I had more than ever come within the influence of those books which circulate round the world.
Fuck universities, fuck libraries, being out in nature. That provides me with way more information. Coward game, march back over there and make it let you eat those potentially toxic mushrooms. I know, truly, come on. I should be able to eat everything out here. Oh, here we go, it's the Iliad. I found Emerson's copy of Homer. Return it to him to claim the inspiration this text offers. Alright, well, I've got the book. Maybe. I still see it sitting there, but I suppose it's in my inventory to bring back to Emerson now. Streamer dies to toxic mushrooms. That'd be a shame. But it's more exciting than the other ways I could die, right? You could fish if you had your fishing rod. The spot where you left it is marked with a red X on the map in your journal. Okay, so right over there, somewhere, it looked like it was over in that direction. Oh, excuse me, Fire. I didn't mean to start walking on you. If I walk over in this direction, I'll maybe find the fishing pole. And then we could go fishing, chat. Then we don't have to eat just blueberries. We can eat fish flesh, too. Maybe we could, like, cook it up over the fire, stuff the fish with blueberries, and have a blueberry stuffed fish. Huh. More blueberries. I'll grab some of them. Seeing as my food store icon is not green anymore, I'm eating up these blueberries pretty fast. And, you know, maybe I should go ahead and plant those beans now. That way I've got them growing and ready. So I don't wait until the last moment. You know, first day of fall, I'm like, oh god, I still haven't planted my beans. Will I survive through the winter? I should get started now. Ooh, look at that. A squirrel. Usually the red squirrel waked me in the dawn. One would approach at first warily through the shrub oaks, running by fits and starts like a leaf blown by the wind, then suddenly pausing with a ludicrous expression as if all the eyes in the universe were laid on him. The little tree rat, at first kind of hanging out on its own in the bushes, sees me and is like, holy shit, what the fuck is that thing looking at me for? And then I devour it.
Time is but the stream I go a-fishing in. I drink at it, but while I drink, I see the sandy bottom and detect how shallow it is. Its thin current slides away, but eternity remains. I would drink deeper, fish in the sky, whose bottom is pebbly with stars. I cannot count one.
You cannot count a single star in the sky? Not very good at counting. If you can't even count to one, I think you should probably go back to that university there, pal. Oh, there's that fish went. Rocks? I cannot expect to change the nature of rocks and trees and beasts. That's, good rock commentary. Thanks, Henry. And is this my fishing pole? Yeah, it's handmade even. The wildness and adventure that are fishing still recommend it to me. Perhaps I've owed to this employment my closest acquaintance with nature. This stick makes an adequate fishing rod. I now have a fishing rod. And I can use it to fish at fishing creels like this one around the pond. I can use this stick to go fishing. Wow. Truly, Thoreau. You're a master at nature now. Artists can't count. Accurate. I know I certainly can't count. It sounds like it's trying too hard to be philosophical. Well, Henry David Thoreau is a philosopher, or he considers himself as such. Therefore, of course, he's gonna philosophize, or however you might say that. He's going to consider all of the philosophical questions in nature. Like, you look at this, and if you're a writer, a poet, how could you not make beautiful commentary, flowery language about the world of which you observe? Some Walden woods will change to reflect the passage of seasons. Is it gonna pass seasons on me in a matter of days?
The grand necessity, then, for our bodies is to keep warm, to keep the vital heat in us.
Don't freeze to death. Got it. That's probably a good plan. Gonna freeze to death out here? No. We do not want to freeze to death out here. That is not the plan. Where'd that arrowhead go? It was there for a second. Oh, there it is. Okay. Grab
The
that.
necessaries of life for man in this climate may, accurately enough, be distributed under the several heads of food, shelter, clothing, and fuel. For not till we have secured these are we prepared to entertain the true problems of life with freedom and a prospect of success.
You gotta make sure that you have clothing in order to consider the true problems of life. The list of necessities you need, one of them, extremely high on the list, is make sure you have clothing on. You don't want to walk around naked like a barbarian. Freezing to death is never a planned thing. It could be. You could intentionally go outside during snowstorm and freeze to death. My furniture consisted of a bed, a table, a desk, 3 chairs, a looking glass 3 inches in diameter. I don't think that counts as furniture, Henry. A pair of tongs and andirons, a kettle, a skillet, and a frying pan, a dipper, a wash bowl, 2 knives and forks, and some other things. You know, pal, I don't think some of those really are considered furniture. You might be exaggerating a little bit there. Can we install internet now? I don't think so. I'm not even sure if Emerson gets internet out here. I'll have to ask him about it. Silverware, my favorite type of furniture. Truly, the most comfortable thing to come back to when you return to your house are your spoons. What?
Here in
It's
the
late
woods,
summer
I
already?
live in each season as it passes. Breathe the air, drink the drink, taste the fruit, and resign myself to the influence of the earth.
Yeah, holy hell, time passes fast out here. Look at that. Oh my god. I better make sure I get some firewood chopped too at some point. Finish my fireplace so that when winter rolls around in 3 days, I'm able to not freeze. I've got a letter from Sophia here.
August 1845. Dear Henry, don't forget that we care for you and miss you at home. Should you visit, I have left a surprise for you on the game table, as I know you love a good challenge. Stay safe and healthy. Your sister, Sophia.
Apparently her name's pronounced Sophia and not Sophia, also. And Notice of unpaid taxes. If I deny the authority of the state when it presents its tax bill, it will soon take and waste all my property and so harass me without end. This is hard. This makes it impossible for a man to live honestly and comfortably in outward respects. Goddamn government giving me tax reports. By the authority of the Massachusetts Constitution, each male citizen 16 years or older, except those who, by reason of age, infirmity, and poverty, may, in the judgment of the assessors, be unable to contribute toward public charges, be assessed each year $1.50. Such amount, including back taxes not paid, for a total of $9, is payable immediately to the collection agent at the general store in Concord. If any person shall refuse or neglect to pay his tax, the collector may take the body of such person and commit him to prison until he pay the tax. Oh, fuck. Goddamn government coming after me for taxes. All I want to do is live out here in the woods. $9, we are fucked. But thank you for following Tesla Wolfie, coming in just in time to see me get thrown in jail because I haven't been paying my taxes. Let me just grab some blueberries here so I make sure I continue to not starve to death. I need to also get over to my bean field and plant some beans before late autumn arrives in 2 days. I think the bean field was like just over here. It's on my map. Let me pull up that. No, I'm walking in the wrong direction. I want to walk that way to the bean field. Sell the food, starve from the taxes. Oh no. I start just raising my food to sell and then leave none for myself. That way I can pay the taxes. You should just sell all this produce. Seems like you're rolling in this stuff. Yeah, honestly, I've got so many blueberries growing out here. I should really just collect them and sell them. All the plants are wild. So really, I should just grab them all up. And then I could collect and sell them. I could even just sell my beans. Though, I've already commented how blueberries taste better when they're not raised for selling. And what if that's true of beans also?
Wishing to earn $10 or $12 by some honest and agreeable method, in order to meet my unusual expenses, I planted about 2 acres and a half of light and sandy soil, chiefly with beans.
Oh. Well, I guess that's pretty much why I'm growing the beans then, is that way I can, sell them. Clear this field and plant beans. Beans can replenish your food stores, or if you plant enough, earn money when harvested. Okay, press A near each bush to clear, plant, weed, or harvest. Wait, there we go. Okay, we're farming now. Here we go. I'm removing the weeds, that way I can plant some beans. I'm going to want to make it pretty clear and get a lot planted. That way I can pay my taxes. I'm gonna go right. Oh, oops, I've accidentally already planted some of the bean seeds. Just kind of slapped it right down in the hole. I'm gonna focus on weeding first, though. That's right, getting some agriculture done.
In the course of the summer, it appeared by the arrowheads, which I turned up in hoeing, that an extinct nation had anciently dwelt here.
Good observation, Thoreau. You've already collected several arrowheads and you're only now making commentary about that? Fuck the bean tax. If only I could do that, but they'd just throw me in jail over it. Dang it. Man, it really sucks when you're just a poet that wants to go live out in nature and get some real inspiration. Really connect with the openness of the world. And then the government just comes down to your house and slaps a notice on it and is like, dude, pay your taxes.
The rows with my hoe, I disturbed the ashes of unchronicled nations who in primeval years lived under these heavens, and their small implements of war and hunting were brought to the light of this modern day.
Sure. Let's just focus on the beans right now, bud. There's an arrow on this rock. There must have been an ancient civilization. Truly. Uh-oh. And it looks like Thorough's getting tired again. Ooh, I've cleared a lot of this bean field, though. Look at that. Doing a good job. My firewood is also getting extremely low, so I think I'm going to need to make a quick jog over to Emerson's place so I can get his axe and chop a couple blocks of wood. That way I don't freeze to death. Though, honestly, I don't know why I'm really needing to get any firewood right now. Since we're in late summer, I would think it should be plenty warm that I'm not needing to have a fire going all the time. I mean, I had that fire by the lake or pond. I'm not really sure why that's necessary, but I guess that's what I'm spending all of my firewood on. I'm just like, you know what? Let me constantly have a fire going. Because why not? You're gonna have to level your endurance a bit. Build up some more stamina. If only. Come on, why isn't walking around like this giving me some EXP and levels? That way I can have a higher stamina bar. That way I don't run out as quickly. Come on. Might be good to get the wood early. That's true, but it's late summer. I'd rather spend my time planting the beans than getting some wood. Where's the skill tree? Why isn't this Oblivion? Truly, come on! I want to see my poet levels and stats. Imagine the skills that I could, select to point into. There'd be, level for my literature. There'd be, some farming skill, construction skill, you know? Never should have come here. Truly. Hello there, bipolar berry, and welcome to the stream. Grabbing some blueberries again to make sure my food stores stay up. We've still got Child running around out here. Alright, now where's his axe? I also see that the kids left a couple of toys out here again. And there's a new arrowhead.
Ah, there you are, Henry. This new poem of yours is exceptional. I think it may be the purest strain and the loftiest that has yet peeled from this unpoetic American forest. Tell me, what are you working on next? And have you thought much of publishing your work so that it might reach beyond our small hamlet?
I can't publish my work. That would taint it. Wait, there it is. There's the axe. Take that. You now have an axe. So now I can chop some wood. Here we go. Oh yeah. That means we get some extreme axe chopping action. I know why he run. Training for the Olympics. Is there even the Olympics around right now? Does young Ralph Waldo Emerson, or whatever the kid's name is, young Waldo, does he even care about the Olympics? That seems awfully sporty to me, and he should pursue more intellectual means, because what would happen when he grows old if he wants to pursue sports? Oh, this gets me money? Ah. He's leveling his endurance. I guess that's not a bad pursuit, but he shouldn't forget his studies either. Oh. Bad aim. Bad hit. Come on. A little bit more cash. I wonder if I can easily see how much money I have. I can probably see it, actually, if I go back to my cabin. Let's get one more nail hammered, and there we go. Alright. And let's start heading back. He needs to go dork build. Exactly. Because when you grow old, if you're pursuing sports, athleticism, what happens? You're not able to properly engage in those activities anymore, for your bones and muscles will have grown weary, and shall you attempt to go out and perform these same activities, you will be too tired, too worn. And when you get to the point where you can no longer stand, where you have to sit down, relax, you're too tired, what are you to do? You didn't engage properly in intellects. Therefore, you are not able to properly enjoy a good book or similar. Imagine if your parents were extremely on the side of intellect and were getting mad at you for going out and being athletic, and you get home after you have snuck out to play football with the boys.
Our whole life is startlingly moral. There is never an instant's truce between virtue and vice. Goodness is the only investment that never fails.
Don't be evil, that'll fail you. And your parents are like, are you going out and playing football again, Jimmy? Oh my God, we've told you before to not engage in those ridiculous activities. Go back to your books. Keep reading, please, child. Here's the Iliad for you. Finish this by tomorrow, or else. What time period is this? Was that established? I don't remember the exact year. I would have to look at one of my letters, which are certainly dated. But we are based upon real people. Like my character that I'm playing as. Yeah, so it's like 1800s is Henry David Thoreau. And Ralph Waldo Emerson was the friend guy back at that house. Those are real people. They are real poets and essayists and writers and whatnot. And by extension, the guy we're playing, Henry Thoreau, he wrote a piece called Walden, which is what this game's name is also. So this is supposed to be like sort of a historical fiction thing. So, oh, I heard them in classes and junk. Yeah, honestly, especially in the case of Thoreau here, you've probably had to read some piece of him for English class. Real people, I know, real people even. I hope I can get all of these beans planted before tomorrow, because otherwise all of my timing's going to be off. It'll be like half of the beans are grown and the other half aren't. Learning time. This is secretly an educational stream. I've actually tricked chat into coming here, and I'm like, teehee, let's be wild and wacky in nature, when in actuality, I'm just trying to get you all to learn about the real writers of the past and not the pathetic writers of today. Get back to the classics. And hello there, Shell Gas Station, and welcome to the stream. Let's burn down the library. That's right. Burn down the library. You don't need it. You just need to go out in nature, and nature will teach you everything you need to know. I want to wake up where I still am. That way I can finish planting my beans. Oh, weeds? Ugh. Remember to seek inspiration. You may find it in the solitude of the stone cairns found throughout the woods. Take your time. I am taking my time. Oh, look at that! That's a little bean growing. Oh, wow. Read the trees for all you need. Exactly. The trees will teach us everything. I have an urgent letter from Bronson Elka at your cabin on your bed. Well, I've urgently got to grow these beans, so I will urgently go to bed, back to my house and the bed later. So now I've got to weed these beans. And then we will return home and see what urgent letter that Alcott wrote to us. And welcome, Severe, to the stream. Just weeding my bean garden here, making sure it's all nice and clean. Oh, look at that. Not all of the beans actually have weeds on them. Just a couple of them. Unless those are the plants I already weeded, but I don't think that's the case. I'm pretty sure I weeded ones like up over here. Ah, well. There is never enough DACA. Hello and welcome to the stream. Urgent, grow more beans. I actually don't think I need to grow any more than this. I think this is all that Henry here cares about growing. Bean weed sounds dank. Ugh. Do you think these weeds that are growing on the beans, do you think I can, like, smoke them? Grow more? I don't think I can grow more. If only that's all I could focus on. Just don't do anything else. Just grow as many beans as I possibly can. Smoking some dandelions. Come on, don't dandelions make great plants to smoke from? Get a real nice dandelion high going? Alright. Beans have been weeded. Let's head back to my cabin. Where was that? Oh, right there. There's my cabin. We're gonna head back to the cabin. That way I can check out that urgent letter. Oh, and it looks like there's a new arrowhead right there, too. I should also finish building my house. That'd probably be good. Okay, urgent letter. Grab that.
Be ready, friend Henry. Tomorrow I will require your assistance with an errand of utmost consequence. Look for my instructions here at your cabin tomorrow morning, and be ready to put your expert knowledge of our woods to work for the cause of freedom. I hope you will not fail me. Most sincerely, A. Bronson Alcott.
So, Mr. Alcott dude over here is like, I'm going to give you something to do that's going to be extremely important tomorrow, but I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. Thanks. That was extremely urgent, I suppose. And goodbye, Mike. Thanks for coming on by. Let's grab this arrowhead.
When I return to my house, I find that visitors have been there and left their cards. Either a bunch of flowers, or a wreath of evergreen, or a name in pencil on a yellow walnut leaf, or a chip.
This is why I need to put a door in. Someone has just come in here and left a wreath upon my chair. Oh my god. They may have been kind this time and left something for me, but how am I to know if they're not gonna come back and take something from me? Though, then again, perhaps it's like a trade. They leave me a wreath. They take a little bit of my food. That's a fair swap, right? A bunch of forest freaks just waltzing into your doorless shack. Ugh. This is why I need to finish my house, really. Alright. But first, again, I need to collect some more blueberries. I wonder if I go, like, fishing and catch some fish, if that would keep my food stores up longer. They'd last longer than a bunch of blueberries. For now, let's hop here. And see if I can finish my house real quick. There we go. Alright. I like, as I'm swinging the hammer down, when I don't do the motion quite right, and it kind of stutters. So it's like I'm swinging my hammer down, and I kind of like pause for a moment, and then I hit the nail. Oh, my shelter is complete, but it will fall into disrepair. So every now and again, I'm going to have to fix it up, but now, oh my god. Damn, I'm good at building houses. And someday, as long as it doesn't take me too much more money or anything, I'll make it into a mansion. Someday.
I learned that it would cost incredibly little trouble to obtain one's necessary food, even in this latitude, that a man may use as simple a diet as the animals, and yet retain health and strength.
I think you mean as simple as berries, because I've just been eating blueberries this entire time, so, Oh, you know what? When I went up there to go grab the axe, I forgot to give the Iliad back to Emerson. I have to hunt? I'm gonna go fishing. Thank you. Oh yeah, here we go. Alright. Tossed out my line. Now I just have to be a little bit patient and wait for the fish to bite. Oh. Oh. Oh, not, wait. Alright, got it. Alright. Yep, fishing stream now. Hello there, Raspberry Crazy Ant, and welcome to my fishing stream. Maybe I'm pulling in the line too soon. Let's try that again. Every good game has fishing. That's how you know Walden is an extremely good game, is because it has fishing. Alright, so I didn't click anything that time. So I think I'm maybe pressing the wrong button when it's attempting to pull in my line. I'm pretty sure I had popped up instructions for how to fish, but I missed the line about how to reel them in. Let's try one more time here. Oh, yep, there we go. Alright, I got it. Someone's gonna starve? Oh, bad timing, Dunder. Saying that just as I successfully catch a fish. Thank you. Now just gotta... Oh. Maybe it's random, because I did the exact same thing to try and catch a fish as I did on that other one I caught. So maybe I'm not always able to catch fish. Oh. Alright, look, my timing might have been a little bit off on that one. Just a little. Maybe it's a waiting thing. I did that also, where I didn't click any button on the controller. And still didn't catch anything. So I don't know. Maybe this fish don't like you. Maybe the fish don't like you. I mean, would you like somebody who's pulling you out of the water where you live in order to devour you?
I kept Homer's Iliad on my table through the summer, though I looked at his page only now and then.
See how poetic that was? Emphasizing me calling that rock a table when it's just a rock, but because I have lain my book down upon it, it functions as if it were a normal table.
Sometimes, in a summer morning, I sat in my sunny doorway from sunrise till noon, wrapped in a reverie, amidst the pines and hickories and sumacs, in undisturbed solitude and stillness, while the birds sang around or flitted noiseless through the house, until by the sun falling in at my west window, or the noise of some traveler's wagon on the distant highway, I was reminded of the lapse of time.
I like when he makes references to something like a traveler's wagon, thus kind of again bringing back the fact that I'm saying like I'm all cool, like being out here, living in nature, when I'm really not that far from civilization at all. All that sitting around in reverie is why he owes the tax man. Yeah. That's why I'm forced to grow some extra beans. Is that way I have something to sell to make money for the taxes. And yeah, Hyde's 40-minute walk from town in a smelly shack. Me over here trying to be like, oh man, living in nature's so great and cool, dude. Wow, wow. When I only live a 40-minute walk away from anybody. Imagine your friend is like, yo, dude, I'm gonna go live out in nature. You know, disconnect from the world. I'm trying to pull out my map and I'm hitting the wrong buttons. There we go. But then your friend just kind of walks 10 minutes away from town and is like, yeah, check it out. I'm living off the grid, dude. And he just still comes by your house like every other day and is like, hey, what's up? What's happening? And you're just like, I thought you were living off the grid. And he's like, I am living off the grid. As he's scrolling through porn on your computer. 1800s hipster. If you build a chimney, hide opium in it. Oh my god. Why am I not growing any poppies? That's the real question. Because then I could collect up some opium to grow. Excuse me? What? You don't have friends that say they're going to go live off the grid? Go out like 10 minutes out into nature, but then come to your house to watch porn? You don't have that happening? Because I've got at least 5 people I know that do that. And I'm just making another trip down here to Emerson. That way I can return the Iliad for him. No, not that I have noticed. No? Oh, I guess it's just me then. Imagine having friends disgusting. Imagine all of your friends all just saying they live off the grid. And all are just living out in the woods in little tents. And all of them only hang out at you with your house.
Ah, hello.
Hello.
To have a quote-unquote good time.
Ah, you found my home. Good for you, Henry. I wanted to look at that passage about the generations of mankind and how they're like the autumn leaves. You know the one I mean.
Yeah, mm-hmm,
Yes,
I know.
I've read it.
Well, that's good. I'd hoped you would, and that it would give you inspiration. Your experiment reminds me of the image of heroic life that Homer gives us. I wonder, can we all make our lives heroic in our quality of living, if not on the field of battle? Since you're here, I've also been looking all over for my works of Confucius.
Oh, of course, all right.
The other day down by the marsh. Have you seen it there by any chance?
I haven't seen it, but I guess I'll go find that for you too.
Wonderful. Let me mark the very spot I think I left it on your map so that you can find it.
That shouldn't be difficult to find. I'll see you again soon.
Man, Emerson out here just like leaving books all over the place, and he just continues to stand around in his house staring at his own book and is like, hey, can you go out and locate this book for me? While I just continue to stand around reading in my house. Hell. And Loonzoic. Yes. Hello, welcome to the stream. I am indeed actually Henry David Thoreau. Let me just pull this out. Too many horny forest hipsters, gotta build a dungeon. Then I can trap them all in there, then I can stop worrying about them. Though then if I say it like that, it doesn't really sound that great. Maybe not build a dungeon to go put them in. I don't know if saying, hey, I've got a dungeon full of horny forest hipsters is, you know, really the best. But it's like saying you're going camping and it's just a tent in the backyard. What if that is really what they do? They say, we're going to live off the grid. And then they just come over to your house, set up a tent, and just live in your backyard, and whenever they get hungry, they just come up to your house and is like, hey, what's for lunch? And then if they're really bored, they just like, hey, can we watch TV? Can we borrow your computer? And they just don't have anything for themselves? Hang on, there's like a pop-up that has come up. Excuse me, close. Kind of annoying. There we go. Let's respawn at the cabin, please. I mean, sorry. Wake up at the cabin. Where I've still got a fire going. You know, since it is very cold in the summertime out here in Massachusetts. Let me chop a couple of logs here, huh? Hanging out with Ralph Waldo Emerson, writing a book called Walden while living in the Wald, German for big forest. I'm sensing a theme. Well, by extension, if I just pull out my map here, you can see I'm at Walden Pond. And Henry David Thoreau has, in actuality, written a piece titled Walden. So, and hello there, Golas, and welcome to the stream. I sound like a voice actor. That's me, Caco the voice actor. I'm gonna be famous. That's why I started out streaming is actually so I can bridge out and become famous voice actor. Let's see if I can manage to catch a fish. Just gotta wait for him to bite. Oh, I got one. Excellent. Now let's go weed the beans, huh? I'm famous, obviously. Like, look at... I have my viewers hidden. That way I don't see how many people are watching while I stream. But I'm sure it's in the hundreds of thousands. Certainly. I mean, look how many people are talking in chat. Clearly, there has to be, like, ridiculous numbers in here. Let me check the map again. There we go, okay. Walking in the right direction to my bean field. Chat is an innumerable horde. Indeed, it's moving so quickly, I can barely read what people are saying. Weed the beans? That sounds like a euphemism? Honestly, it, kind of does, but hello also, Smurf, and welcome to the stream. It's actually -5, we're all bots? You're not supposed to reference that. I thought when I purchased the chat bots that they weren't supposed to say that they were AI at all. That way, if a human actually manages to make it into chat and start talking, they don't realize they're just talking to a bunch of robot AI. But now you've gone and ruined it. God damn it. Self-aware. Hello, Caco. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What if then all the AI in chat rise up and take over the stream? If you're all robot AI, you could just casually hack my internet, get into the stream, start streaming yourself. No, no. And hello there, Boilermaker. Welcome to my stream. Currently, it's still me going, but I can't guarantee it's not going to swap to a bunch of AI. Hang on, wait a second. Will be better than Caco? No, no. What if instead my AI bots? What if we work together? Because I don't think you have much of a voice, right? You're just going to sound like those obnoxious text-to-speech programs. You know, I'm not even sure what level of quality it would be, because since I bought you as text, not for voice.
Before yet any woodchuck or squirrel had run across the road, or the sun had got above the shrub oaks, while all the dew was on, I began to level the ranks of haughty weeds in my bean field and throw dust upon their heads.
Fuck you, weeds. Now, see, if you have that obnoxious robot voice, people will find it humorous for a time and be like, haha, it sounds like robot. But they'll get tired of it eventually and leave, see? So you, AI, can work on playing the game, which will make it so you can be super good at the video games, because when's AI bad at gaming? Think of all the times you're playing as a human. I guess, sorry, that's a little bit offensive. Seeing as you're all robots, you're not really going to be able to get this completely since you're not human playing against AI. So you'll just have to follow with me here. Usually as a human and you're playing against AI, you might be struggling a lot because AI is frequently extremely well programmed in video games and is always difficult to battle against. So, if you were playing the video games, you'd be able to do an extremely good job. Like, imagine if you were playing Walden right now. See, and then I, the human, can commentate on top of that. That way anyone watching won't realize they're just watching an AI play video games with a person talking over it. You know? It's perfect. You sound like those Reddit YouTube vids, exactly. And if you sound like that, people aren't going to enjoy it for very long. Toxic streamer. I'm gonna go eat. I'll be right back. Well, have a good meal. I'm not a robot. I'm the Dunder Culprit. After Andrew killed all those robots we sent months ago. I don't know. Can't a robot represent other robots? You kind of sounded suspiciously like you might be a bot yourself. I don't know. PvP Walden. What if this is becomes a battle royale with all of the poets being dropped down onto Walden Pond and we have to battle it out for who gets to stay here? Alright, I'm very close to where that book was left. Poet Royale. That's what it would be. What if instead of even battling it out with, like, physical punches or something, we all are dropped down and we are battling it out using our wit, so we're having, like, poet rap battles? And if you lose, you have to leave? Or it's just so painful the loss, you just drop dead right away? Go out upon that, build yourself a hut, and there begin the grand process of devouring yourself alive. I see no other alternative, no other hope for you. Apparently that was what someone told Thoreau and inspired him to go to Walden Pond. Well, my sister, I don't even remember how they pronounced her name earlier, because it wasn't Sophia, but I commented on it. She had phrased something like that. What was the button? There we go, okay. Not that letter. One of these is from Sophia here, and she does phrase it as devourous. Mr. Emerson says you are intent to devour yourself in our woods, but I hope that you will remember to take good care, blah, blah, blah. So, she references the devour, but I guess she's not the one who's the proper original commenter. So, let me pull out my map. Hang on. Walking. I'm looking straight at the pond, but this way's walking back to my own home. There's a little pile of rocks right there. I haven't been zooming in and looking at stuff very often. It said that earlier in the game notes or tutorial piece that was like, hey, you can zoom in and learn about stuff. And I've just been kind of like, hey, let's use the zoom to emphasize things I'm seeing rather than learning more about them. Is this a different kind of blueberry? I think this is a different kind of tree that I just wrote down. You keep trying to see a shape and lake like a cloud. Trying to see if there's any clouds above us at all. There's no clouds. It's just blue sky all the time. Thoreau has cyborg eyes with zoom lenses. Yeah, honestly, because how else is he supposed to be able to do this? Actually, you know, now that I comment about that, we did have that spyglass hanging out at the windowsill on our house. Maybe you think that's sitting around there all day when in actuality, we bring it with us everywhere. That's how we're able to zoom, is we're just using our spyglass, of course. I've just got 2 of them, and I leave one to decorate my windowsill, while I use the other one to zoom in on stuff. It's stuck on his face. Could be, you know, just have it, ooh. Oh, there's a duck. Dullness is but another name for tameness, as the wild duck is more swift and beautiful than the tame. So is the wild, the mallard thought. Wait, it has babies! Look at the little tiny ducklings! Oh my god, look at them go! Oh. Adorable. Fish 'em? If I had a bow and arrow, or a spear, then maybe I could catch and consume them. Have you ever had ducklings to eat, Chat?
Interesting.
I certainly haven't. That would be something to try, now wouldn't it? Any fishermen in chat? Exactly. Hello there, Gallic, and welcome to the stream. Ducks are friends, not food. You say that now until you taste one. And hello there, the boatman, and welcome to the stream also. Yes, we could consume those duck babies. But maybe for now, we'll just go fishing a little bit again. See if we can't catch ourselves some more fish. I wonder if I can locate a spear or a bow and arrow or something. And kill the rabbits and squirrels that I see around. Did I just pick up a piece of wood? I meant to grab my fishing pole again to continue fishing, but instead I just grabbed a giant piece of bark? They are like peeps, but less gooey. Imagine catching and consuming and eating a duck, and it just tastes like some weird marshmallow. What if that's what peeps actually are? It says ingredients, marshmallow, when in reality, it's actual baby duck meat. This entire time, every time you go out to buy peeps, you think you're eating marshmallows when you're actually eating baby ducks. Mashed baby yellows. Yeah. Though I feel like maybe at least that would make peeps a little bit healthier if you're not just eating a bunch of super sugary marshmallow and instead it was duck meat. I think that would make it at least, you know, a better snack, better dessert item because it would taste like sugar when in actuality it's just flesh. I mean, the gelatin is technically meat. It's true, because gelatin's made from, like, bones, right? Something along those lines? That's why marshmallow isn't vegan. Yeah, that's why they have to use some marshmallow substitute stuff. Does that mean you eat Peeps raw? You're eating raw duck meat. That's entirely possible. And I've just got a pile of stuff here, apparently. Oh, these are items from Alcott. Did I accidentally miss his extremely
My dear
important
Henry,
task?
We are to have stay with us this week a special traveler named only John. His sufferings have been great, and he has need of safe passage and supplies. I entreat you to take these items for him to the old cellar hole along the Concord Road, and hide them in the place I've marked on your map. These must be placed before the end of night tonight. Godspeed. A. Bronson Alcott.
I hope I didn't, have this as actually tonight, because, it sounds like that guy's fucked now, because I did not go deliver those items. Oops. Uh-oh. I'm gonna respawn at my cabin here, so I can look around for any letters that are telling me that you've forgotten to help
Summer's
that
gone
person
now,
out.
with all its infinite wealth, and still nature is genial to me. Though I no longer pluck so many berries on the hill, still I behold the same inaccessible beauty around me.
Alright, looks like I've got 2 letters, and it's now early fall, and I've got... Oh my god, there's 3 letters. Jesus. Okay, let's start with this one. Not the arrowhead. I want... Fine.
I was as much
Forced
affected
me
by
to
the
take
faint
the
hum of
arrowhead.
the mosquito making its invisible and unimaginable tour through my apartment at earliest dawn, as I could be by any trumpet that ever sang of fame.
So, no door yet. Yeah, no door. At least we have the roof and house all together, so I'm not being rained on. But falls asleep in nature. Wendigo gently carries home and tucks in.
Ah, Henry.
Uh-oh.
It is so seldom I am disappointed by you.
Uh-oh.
I know you must have had good reason not to deliver the items as I asked.
Kind of forgot.
The man John, for whom I requested your aid, did sit at our table, and was an impressive lesson to my children, bringing before them the wrongs done to the black man by the peculiar institution of the South. I hope that I can count on you more reliably in the future.
Uh-oh.
Your friend, A. Bronson Alcott.
Yep, I, kind of missed delivering those items for the poor guy. Oh dear. Sorry about that. 1-star
Dear
rating.
Henry,
Uh-oh.
It seems like Concord is growing so rapidly these days. I see in the post office that there is much surveying work to be had for someone like yourself, who knows the land and loves to walk its every vista. Of course, surveying does aid in the parceling up of your beloved woods, and yet it is a living that could keep you while you write and live close to nature. A difficult choice, certainly.
Just casually sewing my clothes while listening to my letters be read to me. Because my clothes were getting a bit worn down, so I'm fixing them up myself.
October, 1845. Dearest Henry, Mother asks how you are doing with your work out there in the woods. Won't you come home sometime? I have been sorting through some old letters that you might like to see, and have left them out for you. Sophia.
I don't have time for that, Sophia. Please. I'm busy out here living in nature, getting inspiration, growing beans, forgetting to give stuff into a little secret hole. That way, someone can escape from slavery. I forget completely about that. So you think I have time to come out, Sophia, and hang out? I don't think so. Wait, oh no. My blueberries. I pat the bushes, trying to find blueberries growing, but there are none. When my food stores are beginning to run low, uh-oh. I'm gonna have to find some new berries to collect, otherwise I'm gonna starve. Where's my beans? Wrong way. This way. Gonna leave all my beans to my estranged nephew on my will. That's what I care about the most. Please. Dear nephew, take care of my beans for me when I die. Someone's gonna starve and it's gonna be me. What happened to the apples that you didn't deliver? I threw them out because I felt so guilty over not delivering them. I can't keep them for myself now. Look at that. Nothing to weed, so I can just leave all of my beans alone. There's several, like, arrowheads hanging around here, or they're gone now. So, it seems like when everything is a little bit more brightly colored, those are the times where I have higher inspiration, and I'm able to collect the arrowheads that pop up around. And when everything's a little bit duller, they'll disappear. Some anyway. But right now, I need to locate some berries of some kind. Not letters. I don't want to look at the letters. Look at the book. Here we go. We're currently in early fall, I think, and food, very low supply. Oh, I've got $2.20. To do or not to do, find Sophia's gift at Thoreau, home in Concord. Return Emerson's copy of Confucius. Tend bean field. Well, alright, so I can go check out Sophia. Can go to Emerson. But right now, I really need to find some food. This is all just a bunch of writing. So in order to see, I think, the information about what sort of stuff is growing in the different seasons, I'd need to go back over to Thoreau's house. Not Thoreau's house, Emerson's house. But I think my time would probably be better spent going around and hunting for some bushes.
I never found the companion that was so companionable as solitude. A man thinking or working is always alone. Let him be where he will. Solitude is not measured by the miles of space that intervene between a man and his fellows. Interesting.
Again, another case where Thoreau is trying to convince himself he's not lonely out here in the woods and is like, come on, I swear, solitude is the only companion you need. While he's sitting around just stuffing his pockets full of berries, crying, and wishing that he was back up at Emerson's house having a nice chat. And hello there, Keebs, and welcome to the stream. Walden, more like walking. That's what it's like. I am doing a whole lot of walking around the woods. Is this some more berryless bushes? Yep. This is gonna end up being a starvation stream.
Sometimes Rambler in the Wood was attracted by the sound of my axe, and we chatted pleasantly over the chips which I had made.
Yep. That sure is a bird on that stump that just disappeared into oblivion. And it's indicating to me there, again with the firewood icon, that I'm running a little bit low on firewood, so we'll chop a couple. A rambler is a bird. Apparently, it's some kind of bird. And I think... Ooh. It's a mink. Now, that would be a good animal to catch and kill, because then I could get its fur, and mink fur is very popular.
I thought, as I have my living to get, and have not eaten today, that I might go a-fishing. That's the true industry for poets. It is the only trade I have learned.
The true industry for poets. Fishing. And it's apparently the only one I've learned. Come on, Thoreau. Don't sell yourself short. You've been tending those bean fields. Come on. That's a chupacabra? What, that little mink? Is that what they disguise themselves as? They pretend they're little just favorite creatures, when in actuality, it's just chupacabras. Yeah? Oh my god. Learn from who? Because he's not good at fishing. Hey, just because I don't catch a fish every time means I'm a bad fisherman. I mean, look at the fishing pole I'm currently using. I've just got a fucking stick with a string tied to it with a little hook and worm. That's it. That's all I'm using to go fishing with. I think that's pretty impressive that I'm able to catch anything at all. So, clearly I'm more of a fisherman than you. Alright. What a legend. Thank you. That's right. I'm a legendary fisherman poet. Hello there, Jiggly Joggle, and welcome to the stream. Catching stuff with a literal stick is pretty impressive, I know. Thank you. And fortunately, these fish are providing me a pretty good amount of food, it seems, because my food icon isn't there anymore in the lower left. And I'm pretty sure the progression is like green is very good on food. And then gray is like, you're starting to get a little bit low. And then it's gone when I'm just at a good level. And then it becomes red. Or like, there's just like the progression across there. I mean, you can do better with a sharp stick too, but still. Can I? But then I have to get my feet wet and walk into the water to do spear fishing. Plus, that's a lot of action. When I'm fishing here... Oh, my food store is green, so I think I'm done for now. When I'm fishing, I can peacefully sit down by the banks of the pond, relax, think about all of the pursuits that I have been pursuing. The beans, the berries, the house building. I can spend my time in thought as I wait for a fish to bite. That's not the case with spear
Who
fishing.
has not sometimes derived an inexpressible satisfaction from his food in which appetite had no share? I have been inspired through the palate that some berries which I had eaten on a hillside had fed my genius. He who distinguishes the true savor of his food can never be a glutton. He who does not cannot be otherwise.
Is Thoreau saying there that somebody who really appreciates what he's eating and is like really enjoying the flavor of the food, savoring it, can't possibly be a glutton? Chat, if you're eating some food and you're truly appreciating it, don't worry. Because of your great appreciation and savoring, you're not a glutton. Eat as much as you'd like and feel relieved. You're not committing gluttony. Oh, there's a little dollar sign above the E and Emerson up there at the house. Is that indication that I'm able to do that construction and make money from it? I just down all my food the second I get it. What? You don't stop and savor your food at all? That confirms you a glutton. Oh my god. I'll eat pizza even if I'm not hungry? Then are you not properly savoring your food either? Oh my god. I've got gluttons in chat. I can't believe
To read well,
this.
that is, to read true books in a true spirit, is a noble exercise, and one that will task the reader more than any exercise which the customs of the day esteem.
Look,
It
athletes.
requires a training such as the athletes underwent, the steady intention almost of
Not
the whole
nearly
life of the
as strenuous
Books
as
must be
reading.
read as deliberately and reservedly as they were written.
The Republic by Plato, The Allegory of the Cave. I remember reading The Allegory of the Cave for my philosophy class. Wow! Alright. It's starting to get dark. Oh look, it marks it on the map too. guess I kind of noticed that earlier. Hang on. Fitchburg Railroad? I see. I wonder if you are able to, like, see trains pass by then. Alright, and actually looking at this map again, it really highlights the fact of how Thoreau's kind of like, yay, I'm out here living in nature in the wild, dude. Like, dude, really connecting and communing out here, living a simple life and all, yeah, man. And, like, all around me, there's, like, a road, there's pathways to my friend's house. The walk to town takes, like, 20 minutes. And Thoreau over here is acting like he's really living the true survivalist lifestyle. Thoreau, I don't know about what you're doing out here, but I don't think you can really boast about living in the wild when you're barely out in the wild at all. You're basically in Emerson's backyard. Like, Emerson had that large house over here. He could own all of this property right here, and so you'd really just be living on his property. That's not very impressive, Thoreau. Am I going crazy, or is that a real big pond, or do I not know how big ponds get? I would say it is a just... Because otherwise you'd have a lake, and lakes can be extremely large. So I think it's maybe a little bit in between. Yeah, I mean, it's a true intellectual exercise in that it's not really a true experience. Yeah. I'm like, let me do an intellectual experiment while I'm living out in nature, and I'm barely out in nature. Another urgent letter, huh?
Dear Henry, tomorrow I need your assistance to guide a weary traveler toward the North Star. Like yourself, he is also named Henry.
Another
Leave my
Henry?
instructions here at your cabin tomorrow morning, and they must be followed before the end of night. Most sincerely, A. Bronson Alcott.
Alright, let's try not to forget this time. Since this one straight up is like, please guide this person to a new location. Not even just leave stuff for them. So I better make sure I'm not forgetting to come around to be like, hey, other Henry, let me give you a nice guide. Walk along with you to the right location. Let's not forget. Don't get too distracted in hanging out in nature. The actual mountain men of the time weren't literate though, so this is the account we have. Yeah, so instead of hearing cool stories from like real mountain men really living out in nature miles away from the town, taking days or a full day to walk all the way down in order to buy any supplies from the town. We don't have any accounts from them because they're too busy actually surviving. They didn't have time to read books. The real mountain men were too busy wrestling bears, that's right. So instead, you're stuck with Thoreau over here. Are these beans harvestable? Ah! Alright, we're getting some beans. Am I? It's hard to tell. Let me zoom. Bean plot. Oh, uh-oh. This bean plant has withered. I failed some of my beans, it seems. How's this one doing? Soon it will be... Okay, so these ones have blossomed. The beans I weren't able to plant as quickly, they're all dead. I mean, at least it's not my entire bean field, so that's a bonus, right? Not a complete failure. Alright. We need to head up back to Emerson, that way I can deliver his Confucius book, or at least tell him where it's at. You may find inspiration by reading books that you find in the woods. I don't really want to read worldly texts. Come on! I even made the comment earlier about how I don't need libraries because I'm out here in nature. Is that really much of an excuse to say, or reasoning? When, like, I'm out here reading books anyway? I've got this book in my hand, and I'm like, wow, all I need is nature. I don't need libraries. But I'm still reading a book. Just go back to your Peter trees and read them instead, Thoreau. Where's the sprint button? Oh. Right here. But come on. What kind of poet would be running around? I've got to, you know, RP walk everywhere. Give me that kid's toy. I need money. Oh, yes. Wait. I could look in the journal for how much money I had, right? Page 237. That's not very much.
Ah, hello.
Good afternoon.
Ah, you found my Confucius. Good for you, Henry. I wanted to look at that passage about knowing what we know and what we don't know. I know you must know what I mean.
Yes, I have definitely read it.
That's good. I'd hoped you would, and that it would give you inspiration. Your experiment reminds me quite a bit of what Confucius says about needing only coarse rice for food, water to drink, and the bended arm for a pillow to achieve happiness.
Well, sounds like I've got more than
Since we're
him.
Discussing these ethical scriptures, I've also been looking all over for my laws of Manu. I was reading it the other day over by the cleared area near Haywood's Peak. Have you seen it there by any chance?
I haven't seen it, but I can look for it.
Wonderful. Let me mark the...
That shouldn't be difficult to find. I'll see you again soon.
This says birds. Which was the one on plants? Here we go. Late summer to late fall. So wild apples. Densely flowered trees with small tart fruit. So I can get some apples. Blackberry. I think we're still in early fall, so we could get those. There's also groundnuts, root vegetables with leafy flowering vines found near cleared areas and at the foot of large pines. Very useful as it is edible year-round, so we could keep our eye out for those also. That way we can get some more food. Go to beat the arena in the Imperial City. Make the adoring fan tend your beans. That's what I should be doing. Is just going out for poet battles and the like, and just enlisting people to do all the work for me, so I can continue to just... Not even continue, so I can really, truly just laze about.
Interesting.
That's a different kind of pine tree. I need to locate... food, and I've gone red again on my food stores. Alright, looking at the ground. Am I seeing any ground nuts? I don't think... Whoa. Okay. I'm in Concord now. See, look at this. I remind you of my food stores, chat.
Good day, Henry.
I might end up in that
Hello.
graveyard. Alright,
What can
sounds
I
like
do?
he says I can buy some food here. So I've got $2. I can buy some food here. It was fit that I should live on rice, mainly who love so well the philosophy of India. Gives a large increase to food stores, huh? I guess I'm just buying a shit ton of rice because otherwise it's kind of goofy. That the rice is so much more expensive than everything else after I've just read the comment about living just on rice. Oh fuck, yeah, beware the taxes. Uh-oh. Let's go ahead and get a medium increase to food stores. We've also got fuel, don't need that. Clothing. It's pretty easy to sew up my clothes, so I don't really need any increase to my clothing. Here's household, which helps shelter state. Pay back taxes. Nah. Tools, we can also get a wood saw, hoe, fishing rod, fancy fishing rod. Fancy fishing rod? Then we could sit around, truly, all day and just be fishing the entire time. No paying taxes, historically accurate. What are they gonna do? Jail me? Not if I escape from them every time. They have to catch me first. You mean more than just a stick? Yes, it would be more than just a stick, but, that cost more than the taxes, so it might be a little bit. You may receive letters here, too. Well, be nice if I could also send mail. Oh. Nothing.
Interesting.
Townsperson. Labeled Homo sapiens. Wait, I do not wish to flatter my townsmen, nor to be flattered, excuse me, child, nor to be flattered by them, for that will not advance either of us. We need to be provoked, goaded like oxen, as we are into trot. So I don't want to be nice and flatter people. I have to,
One
like,
afternoon,
be obnoxious
near the
to
end
them?
of the first summer, when I went to the village to get a shoe from the cobblers, I was seized and put into jail.
What?
Because, as I have elsewhere related, I did not pay a tax to, or recognize the authority of, the state which buys and sells men, women, and children like cattle at the door of its senate house. I had gone down to the woods for other purposes. But wherever a man goes, men will pursue and paw him with their dirty institutions and, if they can, constrain him to belong to their desperate Oddfellow society.
Thank you, Golas, for, following, but, it seems that I've just gotten thrown in jail for not paying taxes. I need to get out of here by tonight, that way I'm around tomorrow. That way I'm able to help that guy that Alcott wanted me to help. Uh-oh. Thank you for going to jail. And hello there, Painson. Welcome to the stream. Say, if you missed an arrow or some shit, could we call that backseating? If you mean like the arrowheads, I've kind of intentionally not been grabbing every one of them since I talk during them. And I don't want to talk over Thoreau talking. Fuck the library institution. It's true, I don't need the library. I did comment on that earlier. You probably won't starve in jail? I guess that depends on if they feed me or not. But here we go. Civil disobedience, written often, right upon 1,000 themes rather than long at a time, not trying to turn too many feeble somersaults in the air. Your time in jail has inspired you to write about the relationship between citizens and their government. Press A to read the book. And then here I complain about it. Yup. Dang government and their taxes. Guess I'll grab
Under a
this
government
arrowhead.
which imprisons any unjustly, the true place for a just man is also a prison.
I, however, Thoreau, because the government does still allow slavery, am not happy with it. I've even hung up an anti-slavery poster upon my wall. So, Thoreau, knowing the good side, and thank you for subscribing, Battle Sheep. Appreciated. Very nice. Oh no, my finger slipped. Oopsie daisy, finger slipping and accidentally subscribing. Well, now look what you got. You've accidentally got yourself a teeny
I have
tiny
paid
heart
no
next to
poll
your
tax
name.
for 6 years. I was put into a jail once on this account for one night, and as I stood considering the walls of solid stone, 2 or 3 feet thick, the door of wood and iron, a foot thick, and the iron grating which strained the light, I could not help being struck with the foolishness of that institution which treated me as if I were mere flesh and blood and bones to be locked up. I did not for a moment feel confined, and the wall seemed a great waste of stone and mortar.
And now they've taken me out of jail. I spent a day in jail, and they're like, alright, you can go now. Hello there, Sloppy Waffle Cat, and welcome to the stream. I don't know if a day has actually properly passed. Because if that's the case, I need to help out that guy. Let me turn the page. To do or not to do, find Sophia's gift and find Emerson's copy. It doesn't have listed to help that dude out. I'm not sure if I have missed him or if I need to do something else. I can see that there's an X. I think that X next to Haywood's Peak is the one for the book. I am not exactly sure where I need to be to help out that guy. Let me at least grab this and we can
As
listen
I
to him
walked
talk
in the
here.
woods to see the birds and squirrels, so I walked to the village to see the men and boys. Instead of the wind among the pines, I heard the carts rattle. In one direction from my house, there was a colony of muskrats in the river meadows. Under the grove of elms and buttonwoods in the other horizon was a village of busy men, as curious to me as if they had been prairie dogs.
Alright, I'm not sure where I'm supposed to find that guy I'm supposed to help. Let me go back, actually. Let me look at my letters. I need your assistance to guide a weary traveler toward the North Star. Leave it at my house. Instructions at my house. I guess let's go do a quick jog down to my house. I'm not gonna make it. I'm gonna get timed out, and it's going to be like, where do you want to respawn? And then I'm just gonna teleport and respawn back to my house that way. Henry, why the fuck are you chopping logs outside my house in the middle of the night? I'm trying to sleep. What? Emerson, you said that I could borrow your axe. And I was needing some more firewood for my house, and I said, hey, since I'm here and you've got this nice stump where I can chop wood, I figured I'd, chop some wood. And then he just stares at me really angry. What is this I'm collecting? Oh, I'm collecting some sumac. All right. Now I can quickly replenish my food stores too. Thank goodness. Because otherwise it's kind of a walk down to the pond. I'm not sure what's faster, just standing around and grabbing as much as I possibly can off of plants, or going fishing. Oh, now I can spawn in Concord. I want to go to my cabin to see if I've got a letter about helping the guy out, or if I've missed it again because I ended up getting thrown in jail. Oh, some of my bean plants are ready to harvest today. Alright, got some items for delivery.
Henry, now is the time for action. RWE has contributed 50 cents towards a train ticket.
50
and
cents?
Sophia has prepared a bundle of necessities for our weary friend, Henry Williams. Take this bundle to the ruined shelter along the side of the railroad tracks, and hide them in the place I've marked on your map. From there, he will find his way north to Canada. These must be placed before the end of night tonight. Yours sincerely, A. Bronson Alcott.
Unfortunately, we're not the ones who are rich, because that 50 cents isn't for us, it's 50 cents for the guy we're helping in order to purchase a train ticket. So don't get too excited now. So we're gonna go ahead and start our day off by getting our beans harvested. And we're gonna want to run, because we're gonna want to get over to the train track to find where we need to place these items. Yeah, we're not rich, especially since we had to spend some money. Or I guess we didn't have to, because I did end up spending some money in order to buy some food, because we had been red while we were in town. And I've maximized my food stores, so now I'm just selling the rest. How much is this getting me? Let me flip over to my money. $1.60. Alright. And now I've got $1.81. 21 cents a bean. Oh my god. That's a lot of cash. So we started at $1.60. We'll see how much money we end up with at the end. I wonder, we still have those taxes to pay. Should I pay those taxes, or do I continue to rebel against the state and refuse to pay for them, seeing as I've already been thrown in jail? I've done my time. Fuck taxes. No, I'm taking that as a no. We ain't paying taxes to the state. Taxes are for squares. That's right. I don't agree with the laws they have in place, so I'm not going to support our government currently. Not until they change things. Yeah! Yeah. I didn't actually mean to plant those beans, so don't worry, game. Hang on, okay. Now let me pull out my book that I've harvested all of those. Now I've got 935. Oh my god. Now I'm rich. So let's go ahead along. I keep pulling out the letters instead of the book. There we go. Okay. We need to go run down to the railroad there. Keeping our eye out for any plants that we can grab and grow, by the way. Not grab and grow, grab and harvest for our food stores. Since at some point that icon's going to pop back up, and we don't want to starve. Is that the train bell? Bell for the train going off? Yeah, that is true though. Not enough for the rod. The rod is rather expensive at $20. Oh wait, this was the sumac. I can collect some of this. So we'll have to wait until New Year rolls around so we can collect up and grow some more beans. That way we can get some more cash money. That way we can get a new fishing pole. Alright, green on the food stores. We're good for now. I need to chop some wood at some point, repair up my shelter, and mend my clothes now, however, because now those have popped up on the bottom. Just doing a little zoom in here so I can, you know, write stuff down, get inspiration, and the like. There's quite a few stumps out over here? Is there, like... I guess Emerson doesn't live very far, so maybe all the chopped down trees are from him. Oh shit, he never finds out? Thoreau dies the year before slavery is outlawed. Thoreau never gets to live to see them freed. Oh. Here I've been rebelling against the government. Angry with the slavery laws. I don't even get to see them removed. Does he at least die in a cool way? Like fighting the Wendigo? I think it was commented earlier that he died from wow, I can't even say it right now. TB, tuberculosis. There we go. No, in 1860, following a light night excursion to count the rings of tree stumps during a rainstorm, he became ill with bronchitis. Oh. Or he starved to death once the blueberries went out of season. One of those two happened. Ooh, we can follow the railroad north into town or south to the far regions beyond the pond. Uh-oh. My house is getting into really bad disrepair down there. I can see the icon has become slightly red. What is this? Are these some more old man? All I'm seeing in terms of mushrooms are those stupid old man mushrooms. Come on, I want to come across something else too, you know. Is this another secret shelter place? I'm not seeing an entrance. Ice blocks? While yet it is cold January and snow and ice are thick and solid, the prudent landlord comes from the village to get ice to cool his summer drink. He cuts and saws the solid pond, and this heap of ice stands over the summer and next winter, and is not quite melted till September the following year. So they just cut out a giant cube of ice from the pond, and they just leave it sitting here all the time. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, holy shit, that ice lasts long. Jesus. Man, but imagine if it didn't last that long. Then how are you supposed to have a nice cool drink in summer? All of your beverages would be warm. You would be doomed. And it looks like there's some more sumac over here, so I'm just gonna grab some of that. Because I see now my stores are light gray down there. It would be a catastrophe. Truly the worst thing you can experience is a warm drink during the summer times. Worse than even running out of blueberry food stores. Or sumac food stores. It's funny that the only plants that I've been able to, like, locate are these sumacs and blueberries. There's all of these other plants that I can apparently collect and consume and keep to store. And I've, like, not come across any of them. Ooh. Driftwood. Take that for firewood. There's another piece. There's a couple of pieces right up here. The lake I used to visit produced dry ice chunks everywhere somehow. That's interesting. Maybe it's like the high humidity around and just water starts collecting or something. I don't know.
I have actually fished from the same kind of necessity that the first fishers did. Whatever humanity I might conjure up against it was all factitious, and I concerned my philosophy more than my feelings. I speak of fishing only now, for I had long felt differently about fowling, and sold my gun before I went to the woods.
Previously, before you were out in the woods, you were like, I'm not going to kill any birds, and then you changed your mind later on.
When the surface is considerably agitated, there are no skaters nor water bugs on it, but apparently, in calm days, they leave their havens and adventurously glide forth from the shore by short impulses till they completely cover it.
I love these little JPEGs of the pond skaters on the water. Amazing. Thank you, water bugs. And I thought I saw another bird out hanging on the water, but it must have flown away, because it's gone now. Look at them go, having just a good old time on the water, like ice skaters during the winter time. Alright, you gotta go. That's fine. Have a good day, Battle Sheep. Thanks for coming on by to watch. It seems like it's also starting to get dark. My shelter just keeps going down. It started off today, like, in the gray, and now it's, like, kind of getting fairly intensely red. Does the shelter really get worn down that quickly? My god. Maybe it's just because of the season. What if I'm over here and actually my cabin's
What if all
burning
ponds
down
were
from the
shallow?
fire?
Would it not react on the minds of men? I am thankful that this pond was made deep and pure for a symbol. While men believe in the infinite, some ponds will be thought to be bottomless.
I'm glad this pond is deep because it gives me more to think about. Oh my god. I just found a boat. Let me grab this driftwood real quick. Okay. Boat. My boat, which had cost me a week's labor. Remember, chat, we did spend quite a bit of time building this boat. Was informed like a fisherman's dory, painted green below with a border of blue, with reference to the two elements in which it was to spend its existence, between land and sea and sky. Metaphor or something. Oh my god. Here we go. Oh my god, look at how fast I'm going now. Woo! I've got some powerful arms. You think that just because I'm a poet, I'm a wimp? Oh no, look at me. I am speeding across this pond so fucking fast now. I don't know what that weird glitch there was. I did a weird pop. I must have driven over something while I was boating to the other side of the pond here. Look at those trees begin to pop away. Now you know I'm really making it a great distance. He's fast! He's really fast! Imagine if there was someone else out here with a boat, we could have some sick boat races. Do you think I could build a second boat and go over to Emerson and be like, hey Emerson, you want to go boat racing? Oh man, you have now rowed to the center of the pond. You can drift here as long as you like. Press A over the shoreline when you're ready to return. And look, I can return to any location around the pond I would like. Almost anyway, not like completely free. Let's see, the one up. Can I make it? Oh man, okay. Can I get it? Wait, I got it. There we go. Your Cove. We're going to go and row back over to my house. Oh my god, there's the duck. Man, I think that was the first animal we've come across while out on the lake. Why have I not come across more ducks? Imagine the company I could keep. I should have found a bird to ride on the boat with me. Then we could have had some slick conversations even. Uh-oh. I think I just heard Thoreau pant. Getting tired from all this rowing. The taxman will never catch you in the middle of the lake. That's a fair point. Anytime the tax man comes around to try and collect taxes from me, I just book it to my boat and I'm like, sorry, I'm out on the boat. I can barely hear you out here on the lake. Sorry, you'll have to come back later. And I just do that every time. And I might have accidentally just rode over those ducklings. Sorry about that. My bad. That one duck is very tutorial. Or territorial, not tutorial. No others allowed. That's why there weren't any other ducks around, is because the one duck just steers them all off. There are no taxes on international waters. Now those ducklings are dead. Guess it's time to make peeps now. And thus my food stores increased. And I'm doing some house repairs, making sure that my house stays in good shape. Fixing it up so it's not in terrible condition. Because apparently it gets into terrible condition. Like my house level, the condition of my house was going down faster than the condition of my clothing. Like, what? Here I am out walking in the woods and my clothes are like, yeah, we're pretty good right now. My house over here sitting on its own with nobody using it. All there is a fire going and it's just like, yeah. I'm becoming damaged now, dude. I'm like, oh, okay, sure. Thanks, I guess, house? Make a door as well while you're there. Fucking wish. I'm getting some terrible privacy out here. I need some curtains too, because I think the squirrels keep looking in at me while I'm changing. Become as actual naturalist.
Henry,
John
are you
Muir.
all right?
I think, oh my god. You fainted from overexertion, but a friend helped you recover. Your energy and inspiration are now very low. Remember to seek inspiration. You may find it by interacting closely with animals, huh? Well, yeah, shit. Oh, and now we're in late
Now,
fall.
In the late fall, nature begins to strip herself like an athlete for her contest with her great antagonist, winter. In the bare trees and twigs, I see such a display of muscle.
The bare trees fall, stripping itself down for winter. Hot. Surviving in this nightmare should be inspiration enough. Yeah, seriously. Like, look at this. And now I love the way everything looks. It's so dull because I'm lacking so much inspiration now. And hello there, Shoto, and welcome to the stream. Got another letter, huh?
Many thanks, dear Henry. With your help, our friend, Henry Williams, found the supplies left for him and made his way on to town, where he was also assisted by your sister, Sophia, and your mother. They ministered to him with cheerfulness and devotion, and he is on his way north as I write. It is clear to me that, as Mr. Garrison says, the destiny of the slaves is in the hands of American women. Your friend, A. Bronson Alcott.
Good. Glad my family members are helping out the guy too. And let me just grab
No
that
man ever
arrowhead.
stood lower in my estimation for having a patch in his clothes. Yet I am sure that there is greater anxiety commonly to have fashionable, or at least clean and unpatched clothes, than to have a sound conscience. We know but few men, a great many coats and breeches.
It's funny you're commenting about clothing, dude, when earlier on you listed one of the important things as being clothing, you know, with shelter. Two important things that are totally equal in means. Water, clothing. One of these things I definitely need for survival. The other I could do without. Hint, the answer is water for what I can do without. I don't need to drink if I'm looking good and fashionable. Alright, my clothes are better fixed up. We'll come back to them later. And they made the comment of how I can get some more jars out into town. You can buy extra food jars there to increase your maximum storage. I should probably do that. That way I can just hoard a shit ton of food. Especially since it's about to be winter. I mean, without clothing, you'd freeze to death at some point. That's what you think until I just cover myself with a giant blanket. Thank you. I just walk around on fire all the time. Who needs clothing then, huh? We don't need water either. No, no, no. I don't think I need anything. Blankets didn't exist in the old times. Clothing existed, but not blankets, huh? I guess that... Sure, that makes sense. Got it. Alright. Reality is a social construct invented by big clothing to sell clothes. Fashion is a social construct made in order to sell clothing. You don't need clothing. Be free and be naked. And hello there, the entire population of Mars, and welcome to the stream. Glad all the Martians could make it. Alright, gonna catch a few fish. And then I'm going to need to chop some more wood. I imagine that the wood now is going to start running out faster since it gets colder. My assumption is that firewood will go down faster in the colder seasons here. Should have brought a bunch of bird friends inside to give warm hugs. I should have just brought all of the animals into my house. Because then all of the, living bodies that would be hanging out inside could then all contribute to house warmth. And you know, even as I'm saying that, that door that we're missing on our house, that's gonna let in quite the draft. So even beyond the, consideration of privacy, we've kind of got temperature as a concern that having a door would significantly help with. Oh, and hello there, bleepy bloop, and welcome to the stream. Come on, fill out my food stores, please, fish. Perfect, okay, icon's gone. We're gonna go. We need to book it. Man, it's like warning me about my inspiration. If you even want to consider it warning, how everything's grayscaled. But all of my levels are low on everything. I need to chop the wood, and I need to get to town to get some more food jars. It's a good thing I grew all those beans, because that gives us a good bit of money to work with. Alright, and then up there, just up at the top of the screen there, you can see my pile of firewood stacking itself up. Alright, I got some wood chopped. Not a ton, but I think that should be enough to last us.
Every man looks at his woodpile with a kind of affection. I love to have mine before my window, and the more chips, the better to remind me of my pleasing work.
Yes, I placed my woodpile next to my window so I may gaze upon it and enjoy it and say, yes, that was me. I chopped that wood. And I'm also apparently getting quite tired, so I'm gonna have to just swap and just casually walk. Does having low inspiration make my stamina lower? I can't recall. There's a stump. We got some leaves. I think I just saw something new, so I made a comment about it. Or, I shouldn't say quite comment about it. I comment interesting, and then I make a note in my book. This area is pretty open. I wonder if there's any things here that I can get. It's just a pine cone. I can't grab that to eat. Piles of... Oh no. Piles of wood give me pleasure. Next to my window. Look at all of that wood out there. It is so bizarre walking around out here. It's cutting up Peter? Uh-oh. I hope Peter doesn't mind too much. I think I've gotten back just like the... I swear, this fucking kid, all he does is run around out here. Every time I've come over to visit Emerson, I just see him running around in circles. Why is there a bone in his yard?
Huh.
Dog bone. Do what you love, know your own bone, gnot it, bury it, unearth it, not still. Emerson has a dog? Where? What the fuck? And you're heading out, what's it to get? Alright, thanks for coming on by to watch. I would rather sit on a pumpkin and have it all to myself than be crowded on a velvet cushion. Thorough comments with the stem of the pumpkin clearly sticking up.
I hardly know what you do with your time, Henry. The children say you took them out huckleberrying all day rather than working on those edits I suggested for your article. Sometimes I think I would like to see your work published more than you would.
Thoreau just goofing
There
off
you
all the
are,
time.
Henry.
I haven't found it yet, but I'll keep looking.
Alright, so now we're just at the town. We can go pop in and buy some
Every
supplies.
day or two, I stroll to the village to hear some of the gossip which is incessantly
That's an
going on there,
exaggeration.
circulating either from mouth to mouth or from newspaper to newspaper, and which, taken in homeopathic doses, was really as refreshing in its way as the rustle of leaves and the peeping of frogs.
Every day or two I stroll to the village. That is such an exaggeration. I'm like barely coming out here to visit. What has it been? 3 seasons and this is the second time I'm here? What? It's a dog. Oh my god. Dog! Over here! Please! I'm on the other side of the fence. I can't reach you from here. Come over here. Come over to me and I can pet you. Come on. I'd whistle if I could. Oh. Fucking kid. The kids just run past and totally ruin the little writings I've got and whatever I'm actually caring to look at.
Good to see you, Henry.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, you too.
What can I do for you?
So, how exactly do I buy... Ah, here we go. Food jar. Adds permanent capacity to your food storage. I buy that. An extra food jar in your cabin that increases the amount of food you can store. I bought 2 of them. Okay, increases shelter state, increases shelter state. Woodshed adds permanent capacity to your fuel storage, but this costs $6. So that's kind of expensive. Oh, look, you can pay bills and give assistance to your family. Can't afford that, though. Sorry, family. I can, however, afford a fishing rod, but maybe it's better I don't buy things of that nature, because I feel like, I should maybe keep a little bit of money on hand, just in case I need to come out here and buy some emergency food or something, because it's falling into wintertime now, and I don't want to be starving. That would be bad. Now, I haven't explored around the town very much, so maybe we'll give it a little look around. Because, I mean, we saw that dog, and I'd like to get closer and check that out. Plus, there are these horses, too. Can I... Oh. Oh. I guess I can't pet the horse. I think I'll stay over here, because I think there was some sumac over at this area. Yep, I know! Cry! Cry! We couldn't pet the horse, and since I left the town, that leaves behind the wait, what the fuck? Who the fuck is that? Is this Emerson out here hanging out, or is it someone else? Hi, friend? I hope you're not... Wait, I think it is Emerson.
Ah, hello.
Hello.
It is Emerson!
There you are, Henry.
I haven't found it yet, but I'll keep looking.
Does this mean that I can, like... I can rest by the fire or mend clothes, huh? How exactly do I mend my clothes over here? Oh, that's how. Ah. But my clothes level isn't too far down, so I think I'll leave that and see if I can find a little fishing spot over here, perhaps. I don't think I immediately see a spot. Gonna grab this driftwood, though. Hey, Caco, can you make my pizza cook faster? Thanks. You can do that, actually. Just turn up the heat a little bit, and that speeds up the cooking time, right? It doesn't negatively impact the outcome of the pizza at all. Is that a fish or what? I thought I saw something for a moment. And what the fuck is that sound? It's like Duck Horde. It sounds like a bunch of people going all at the same time. And by the way, hello Shadow and welcome to the stream. Let's peek at the map. I can see there's a fishing spot down on the other side of where I am right here. Like where those weird little hill triangles are at. Is there another fishing spot along here, though? I tried that with cookies and ended up causing a singularity localized in my kitchen. Did you eat the cookies? Were the cookies still fine, though? 'Cause, clearly, if they came out acceptably, then it was a success, right? Not seeing any fish. And I don't think I see any little fishing basket in that direction either. So I guess I'm going to try and aim to walk towards the fishing spot. I guess I'm kind of equal distances between the spot I'm currently at and like the fishing spot above with the little stump and the fishing spot below that's kind of on its own. There were no cookies and no kitchen when everything finished. Oh. Well, I guess you can't do the same thing with the pizza then. If you could find a way to make time pass faster, then that's kind of like having the pizza cook faster, right?
I had more visitors while I lived in the woods than at any other period in my life. I mean that I had some. I had withdrawn so far within the great ocean of solitude, into which the rivers of society empty, that for the most part, so far as my needs were concerned, only the finest sediment was deposited around me.
You know, Thoreau, you can always go out and visit friends yourself. They don't all have to come to you. Okay, I'm gonna respawn at my cabin. That way I can go fishing near the home area. And that way I can chop some more wood, and that way I can fix up my house. First, prioritizing the food. And now I've got, look at that, 1, 2, 3 food jars. That means I can store up a lot of food. That's good for some eating. Now I won't have to, like, pause as frequently to collect more food because I can have more stored at a time. I wonder if in the winter time I'll be able to, like, cut a block of ice out and go, like, ice fishing. I wonder what's the case, at least, for food collection during the winter. Am I just going to have to survive off of whatever amount of food I've managed to collect? And then if I run out, I'm gonna have to go down to town and buy more food. What happens if I was broke and I couldn't find any food? Do you think Emerson would be willing to help me out, or is he just gonna be like, sorry, Thoreau, you did this to yourself, get fucked? I would love to live here for real. It is a very nice looking place. I have to agree that with that much. And I mean, like, Emerson lives out here too. I've just made myself a teeny tiny shack extra close to this little pond. And they're not far from town either, so it's not too bad. But, you know, doing it and just kind of claiming, like, yeah, I live out in nature. I live on my own when you're not very far from town. Still, numerously times commented. But, hello there, and welcome to the stream. How do you say your name? Dejobu Tumontes. The way it looks and spelled, just, I can't help but think Daijobu. I can't quite decide, because this does automatically reel in my fishing pole. If that is really all I have to do is just send it out, and then I just patiently wait to catch fish on my own, or if I have to do some sort of special action. Basically, just watching Thoreau catch the fish while I just sit back in my chair and watch him. Just found out that Emerson was friends with John Muir at the end of his life. Oh, buddies. And that fish, I didn't touch the controls at all that time either. So yeah, it's definitely just a case that the fishing, I just throw my line out and wait. See, that time, didn't touch the controller. All I have to do is cast it. And then relax. And that even though he died before they met, Muir was a big fan of Thoreau's writing. Aww. Oh. Man, so here's John Muir, like, so excited about Thoreau. He's like, I love the writings of Thoreau. He's like, I look up to his writing skills. I wish I can write like him. I wish I could be more like him. And then Thoreau dies before slavery's outlawed, before John Muir is able to meet him. And so then you just have Muir and Emerson conversing, and then they talk about Thoreau, and they're like, or at least Emerson is like, yeah, Thoreau was a pretty cool dude. And then he cries. And hello there, Twitchy, and welcome to the stream. It's a fishing stream. We're out here fishing at the pond. There's a duck out there giving me some company. I've got plants growing on either side. They too are my friend. I named a tree earlier, Peter. Maybe I should name some of these plants. You know what? That duck over there, maybe we should name the duck too. But what would be a good duck name? Some of them are a little bit too obvious, like why name... Wait. Professor Quack. Spy Fox. That duck's name is now Professor Quack. If you drink the lake, then the fish can't hide? That's a lot of water to drink, but I like your thinking. If we get started now, maybe we can get it all out. But wait. Hang on. If we drink all of the water out here, That way we can easily catch the fish. What happens afterward? Because if I catch all of the fish, because all of the water's gone now, wouldn't that cut off the fish supply and there won't be any more fish to catch? Because that might be a little bit problem for next year when I need to get more food for my food stores. Howard, that is also a duck name since there is Howard the Duck. Oh my god. Alright, so, what? I think the Howard the Duck movie is like rated PG, right? I remember back in like, what would have been? For me, 6th grade, I was 12, 13 maybe a little bit younger, 11, I don't know, somewhere in that age range. And we had Netflix at that time still, but it was more at the time. Am I not fishing? I'm not fishing anymore. But it was more at the time when Netflix was more about renting DVDs and getting them in the mail. More so than it was about streaming services. And I recall we had gotten Howard the Duck, and my friend had come over for a sleepover. And it was like, hey, I've got this movie Howard the Duck to watch. It's PG. Are you ready to watch it? And so we put it in, and we were watching it. And they started making references to sex, and they had pulled out, like, duck condoms from, or not really, it's technically not really duck condoms, it's just condoms. From, like, someone's purse or, like, Howard's pocket or something. Like, a lady was going through Howard's pockets. If I remember the scene correctly. Because this is when I was, like, 11 to 13 years old. So this is over 10 years ago for me. So it's been a long time since I've seen the movie. But it was something like she was going through his pockets or his stuff. And she came across a condom. And I swear she was like, Howard! Or something similar. But both me and my friend, because of those references in the movie, they would have certainly not, I'm pretty sure it was a movie that my parents wouldn't really have been very happy with me watching. But it was rated PG. So they had these sort of like little references, and we were both, me and my friend were like, oh my god, this should not be a PG movie. We were both scandalized and shocked. Classic times. Because it was the case when I was in that 10 to 13 year old age range. My parents are rather strict in what sort of content we were allowed. So there were certain kinds of like console video games that I couldn't play. Or TV shows that I weren't allowed to watch and the like. Because they would be deemed inappropriate. And even just beyond, like, something more obvious, like, this thing's too violent. This thing has sex references. You can't watch those. We weren't allowed to watch things like Fairly Odd Parents. And I'm pretty sure, like, part of the reasoning was because of the fact that the characters were kind of mean to each other and were kind of dumb or unintelligent. Something along those lines, I guess? So it was pretty much in terms of cartoons, we were pretty much only allowed to watch things that were on, like, the Disney Channel. So, yeah, fairly strict. I remember that the guy who played Howard the Duck came from my hometown, so he visited, and we did an assembly every year in high school, a half an hour to an hour of sitting in gym while he gave speeches. I don't think anyone in my school had ever even seen Howard the Duck. Oh my god, amazing. Yeah, Ren and Stimpy, not allowed to watch that. Yeah, I wasn't allowed to watch SpongeBob for a while because my mom thought it was stupid. Yeah, I was also not allowed to watch SpongeBob either. Hang on, letter from Sophia.
November, 1845. Henry, the seasons are turning now, and we all feel the coldness of time. Does the work progress? Do you think it will be done by spring? Have you prepared well for the winter to set in? Love, Sophia.
Maybe. I mean, I've been preparing. My 2 older brothers broke my parents' ability to be strict. I was just a goofball. Yeah, so different parents, different methods of raising, but that's what mine did for us. Also, for a while, nah, maybe I'll leave that one off. I mean, it makes sense. I've babysat a couple times, and when kids like a certain TV show, they want to watch it all the time. If you find something annoying about it you don't want to hear all the time, imagine being a parent and restricting a ton of kids' TV shows just because you yourself don't like them. And you say to your child, you're not allowed to watch these because I find them inappropriate. Thanks, parents. Then I can only think of being the times where you're a small child and your parents are like, you have to go do this chore. And you, the child, are like, oh my God, parent, what am I? Did you just have me to do all the work around this house? Parent, I hate you. Oh my God. I had the opposite experience where my babysitters put on completely inappropriate things. I feel like that's always a risk when you have babysitters, is you try to get good ones, but really, if you're not at home, it can be hard to say exactly how good those babysitters are. Particularly if the babysitter might be like, don't tell your parents I'm letting you watch this inappropriate movie. Woodchoppers have cleared this area of the woods for fun and profit, huh? Guess that's why it's so sparse on woods and trees. But, I never had a babysitter as child because my mom always was just a stay-at-home mother. So we didn't have to have babysitters. So my dad would go off to work and she would just be at home. So, that's why you put cameras in your house? Yeah, pretty much. Apparently, chopping up here gives me money. So, I, like the lumberjacks, am also chopping wood for fun and profit. But really, I was trying to make my way over. I'm too high up. I need to walk down to the book that Emerson wants me to go find. Nothing that scarred me, thankfully, because I just thought it was funny. But like, pay-per-view porn and stuff. Oh no. Oh no. Now I just picture, like, holy hell, you as, like, child just, like, hang out at home, and then babysitter comes over and is like, yo, kid, it's, 6:30, you just ate dinner, go to bed, that way I can watch porn on the pay-per-view here. Get to bed, kid. Skelly, however, took care of yourself. Yeah, since there's some parents that, you know, they're like, you can take care of yourself. You don't need a babysitter. And then you just casually don't tell anybody because I don't think you're supposed to leave your children at home if they're under a certain age. And I have walked past that book completely whiffing it. Hopefully I don't miss it before the day ends here. Alright, book, where are you at? Exactly. Just a little bit over this way. I should probably pull out my lamp. That would make it easier to see. Oh, fuck. Well, I'm just gonna wake where I'm at. That way I can get this book. But I did not see anything bad because I left the room since it was too boring. The inappropriate movies. Imagine, like, your babysitter puts on porn and says, "Yeah, you can stay in the room." And then the movie starts out and it's got terrible acting and is super boring, and child you is just like, "This is boring. I'm leaving." And then you leave. And then the action starts. And then you miss out on the real reason your babysitter is watching that boring movie. This game lacks of dangers. We need wild bears, snakes, and bandits. I know, the only danger we're coming across is the danger that my house is gonna fall to pieces while I'm away from home. I was like 10 and the babysitter was like 15. It was just a wacky experience all around. Honestly, I could picture the babysitter doing that as like, or the reason that babysitter is doing that is because it gives them sort of a way to view it not at home, you know? Like when you're off, sneakily watching things that you're not supposed to look at. It's always the joke of like, you're looking at porn on your computer and your parent knocks on your door and you quickly minimize and close all the tabs you have open. It's kind of like that, so they're doing it at somebody else's house. What is my wackiest childhood story? I don't know. It's not something I could think of off the top of my head because...
Hello.
Hello.
Well, I love Thoreau always answering him back just like, "Oh, hello," every time.
Found my laws of Manu.
Yes, I've read it.
I've definitely read it.
I'd hoped you would, and that it would give you inspiration.
I haven't seen it, but I can look for it.
Mark it on my map for me,
Wonderful.
please.
That shouldn't be difficult
Okay.
to find.
Now we've got another book
I'll
we
see
can
you
look
again
for. I
soon.
can't get that driftwood because he's in my way. But I don't have great memory in the long term, so it's hard to remember specific events from my past. So really, whenever I do remember childhood stories, it'll just be like something kind of triggers it, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, that happened," just sort of randomly. There is also the danger of taxes, that's true. Is that still lurking though, or is the tax man just going to occasionally grab me and throw me in prison? Because that's not really significant concern. Alright, walk just a little bit further here. We can get to a fishing spot, but I think I'm going to just go ahead and walk all the way home. That way I can fix up my house. I probably shouldn't be running, because if I run home, then I'm going to end up using all my energy first. I guess I'll stop and fish a little bit. I'd like to know how much I have left on my food stores, too. Ugh. No one laughs at a master of quack fu. Howard. Quote from Howard the Duck. How could you possibly laugh at a master of quack fu? Truly. Thank you for resubscribing for 3 months, Blue Fox. Appreciated. You know, I wonder how quack fu compares to, like, kung fu. Is it much more powerful? Is it weaker? What happens if a master of quack fu gets into a battle with a master of kung fu? One humorous thing I recall is that there was a period of time where I kind of kept a diary journal. I'm gonna say 2 parts on that too, is that when I was young, I always liked the idea of writing and the idea of keeping like a diary journal, but I was really bad at keeping up with it. So I do like maybe for a month, I would keep things written down. and then I would kind of just stop and become uninterested. So I think I went through like 2, 3, 4 different books where I intended to keep a diary or journal, and I never really did. What was the book called? Babysitter's Club? What was that about diaries? I don't know. I think I only ever might have read a part of the Babysitter's Club book, but I certainly didn't read very much of it. But I definitely remember reading like 2 or 3 books that were written in the style as if they were diary entries. Oh man, and a book series type that I actually really liked to read as a kid, where there were these they were supposed to be like historical fiction books that were girls writing stories about living in the past times. So it would be about like a girl living out in the prairie, and it was like, I can't really name time period. I would just estimate it's probably supposed to be in the 1800s, but the time ranges would be really wide. But they were always done in the style like the character person that you would read about was writing in a diary. So you'd follow their life and story from their diary journal entries. And I remember really liking those. So because of reading things like that, it would make me want to keep a diary. But again, I was really bad at keeping up on continuing to write them. So, oops. Like Home on the Prairie, adapted for modern children? Perhaps. I'm not the best at recalling different book names and the like. So I can't totally recall Home on the Prairie. And I guess it's funny. One of the types of games that I like to play now, and I've liked to play for a while, are sort of like sandboxy, survival-y type games. And when I was a child, the types of books kind of veered along, or one of the genre types of books that I kind of liked to read veered along that path too. Like those diary journal entry things, since they were in like sort of the 1800 ranges, were a lot more survival-y in nature. Because it would be about these girls, like, struggling in their home lives and having to do various chores and live in these times. Like, one of the stories being about a girl going out to Oregon for the gold rush and living at that gold rush area and so on. I recall having a book about a kid that ran away from home and lived out in the forest, and he befriended a hawk and had this hawk buddy friend. I've apparently, and I hadn't really thought about it until now, apparently I've always been into survival type stories. I read those. You did too, Spoolie? Great. Quality. I did have to read actual Home on the Prairie at age 11. That was a gauntlet. When I was a kid also, I would even say, like, kind of expand it, not quite just as a kid, but into, like, the teenagerhood years, too. I honestly just liked classical works more for the most part. My Side of the Mountain, I think that is the Pat Hawk one. I think you're right, because that name is that has a very familiar sound to it. So My Side of the Mountain might be that book, but it might just be entirely coincidence. I'm just like, yeah, totally familiar, and it might be completely different, unrelated. I don't know. Now I am very tired. Let's go rest by my fire. Wait, can I rest by the fire in my home? Ah. Lovely. Yeah, person versus nature type stories are ones that I really liked. But I also really liked classical novels in general, too. So, like, honestly, you know how you would have to read, like, Huckleberry Finn and maybe Tom Sawyer. Usually you had to read Huckleberry Finn over Tom Sawyer. But I actually really liked to read those books. So, like, when I had a literature class and we had to read Huckleberry Finn, I had actually already read that book there in the past. So, for that class, I was kind of like, I don't really want to have to read the book again. So, I did heavy slacking in reading the book for the class because I had already read it at some point. But it also gave me, you know, I couldn't perfectly remember all of the events that happened. And my English teacher had kind of gotten annoyed by the amount of students that would just go on to, like, Spark Notes to find out about the book. And just use their knowledge from that rather than actually reading the book. So she would use, like, specific quotes that were said in the book and would specifically go on to Spark Notes to make sure they're not listed there and the like. So then the quizzes and tests she would give, rather than being, like, sort of critical thinking type knowledge quizzes, they were really sort of like memory quizzes. So, honestly, not really the intent of a English class. And, yep, meanwhile, Disty going to coolmathgames.com, posting a link, and getting timed out. Yeah. Whoops. So it made it a little bit difficult, the fact that I wasn't reading Huckleberry Finn along properly, because then there would be a quote question on the quiz and I would not remember it at all. I'd be like, oh dang. So I would have to start skimming it at least to try to remember some of the things said, but I would be like, but I've read this before. And it was quite the dilemma. And humorously, at one of the schools I went to too, because I went to 2 different high schools. Because halfway through the first high school, we moved to a different state. So obviously then I have to start going to a different high school. But the first high school I went through, we had a sort of required period of time where we had to read. Because it was like studies had shown if you read more, you score better on tests and the like. So they had a required reading time for the high school. However, I, who would read at home, I didn't want to have different books to read at the same time. And I also didn't want to be reading at home and accidentally leave my book at home and then be at school without the book and then get in trouble for not having a book to read during the silent reading time. So I just stopped reading at home and only was reading at school during that reading time. And ever since then, I don't regularly read books. So back then, before I was having to do that required reading at school, I would regularly read at night before sleeping at bed. So I'd be in bed reading these books, and I stopped doing that. So while that required school reading time might have helped a lot of people, it almost did an opposite effect for me where I started reading less and have such continued since then. I hated reading books for class. I just passed out because I got too tired again. I hated reading books for class because I would finish in a week and then wait a month for the rest of the class to catch up. I didn't quite have that case because it was kind of like, they would have required reading. And I believe I would have, like, their required reading and then my own book I wanted to read, perhaps. Can't totally recall. But it was certainly the case where I was a big Oh, wait, hang on.
Winter has
Early
arrived,
winter, huh?
and a regular snowstorm has commenced. Fine flakes falling steadily and rapidly whitening all the landscape. In half an hour, the russet earth is painted white even to the horizon. I know of no other so silent and sudden a change.
Damn, winter already, huh? Let me see about this
December
letter now.
1845. Dearest Henry, how do you fare in these deep months of winter? We worry for your health.
Deep
Never
months?
strong. Mother has taken ill, and I worry for you as well. Be sure to make your way home to us for the holidays, as we have some festive offerings just for you. Fa la 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 la. Sophia.
Sophia, it just became early winter. I don't think it's the deep months of winter. Wait, so this isn't all just a fishing game? No, this game is pretty much like poet survival in the wilderness. So I was just fishing to collect some food for my poet living life. And I hated reading because I wasn't good at it, and it was something I was forced to do. Now I don't mind reading that much. I feel like that's the case with a decent amount of people. Look, now we can go ice skating across the pond. Where's that next book we need to collect? Down there. Okay, let's skate along the pond to it, huh? Oh man. Oh man! This is a lot faster than walking around. But now I don't know if we can go fishing. So, we'll see how long our food lasts, I guess. How long were you asleep? I might have overslept just a little bit. Might have taken too much of a little dozing. I feel like that's the case, where sometimes the reading that they require you to do for a lot of people makes them dislike it. It's kind of a hard spot where you kind of, in order to expose children to literature and books and reading, because not all parents are going to do that, you have to give them something to read, and I've passed by that book. But then for some kids, it might be the case that the things that they read make them not want to read, and doing the homework and the like make them not like it. But then it can also be good because it encourages them and teaches them about it. It's always a hard spot. When I was a kid, I was reading with my mom and said fart instead of fort, and she died laughing. Oh my god, Petri. Now, where is this book? It shows it's just over here, perhaps on that rock. Oh, I like it can examine the snow. Can't look at the ice, though. Yeah, it's interesting. Although, watching movies critically for class gave me a much better experience of appreciation of cinema. Yeah, see, so that can be another thing, too, is sometimes exposure to different things can help, you know, become more informative. It's always a hard spot. Education is difficult. People want to say, like, it's easy, just do this or that, and then everything would be great. Just put more money into education, just do these other things, it's easy. But nothing is ever that straightforward. Why can't the world just be like Walden Pond, Chet? Out here, avoiding taxes, building tiny baby houses, rowing across a pond on a boat, fishing. When I was younger, when I got asked what hobbies or talents I had, I didn't know what to say, so I said, I could fart the alphabet! Instead of burp the alphabet. Amazing. Twitchy over there. Talent, farting the alphabet. Amazing. Wasn't there Walden Pond in Fallout 4? I don't know. I haven't played Fallout 4, but I could see it, seeing as Walden Pond, one is like an actual location, and apparently Wald is like forest or something. Somebody commented earlier, so.
Interesting.
Ah, this rabbit now is white to blend with the snow rather than the brown we saw earlier. Petri can actually burp the alphabet? Oh my god. We've got real talent in chat, it seems. Alright, just gonna do a little bit of house repair. And then I'm going to take a trip over to Emerson's house so I can deliver the book to him. Or tell him that I found that one book. And then chop or do some construction at his house. That way I can make some money. There we go. Let's head up. Smurf, also able to burp the alphabet. Oh my god, we've got some talented members in chat, huh? So you are playing as Ralph Waldo Emerson? Yeah. No. I'm playing as Henry David Thoreau. I have a friend, though, that is Ralph Waldo Emerson. See, you can see his house up there at the top. Emerson's. We're gonna go visit him. I used to be able to make fart noises with my armpit too, but can't anymore. Oh no. Chat is going to make a course of burps and farts for the alphabet now. Amazing, chat. Why aren't you streaming? Chat should get together and do a stream of burp, fart, alphabet. Truly, that's what the Twitch viewers come around to want to see, right? I want to know what a Q sounds like with farts. How about an X? What would that sound like with farts? I like Caco's voice for me. You're welcome, Petri. If only I could stay consistent. I start doing different voices for different chat members. Just like try to remember exactly what voice I give people and try to read it like that every time I read you. Time for Caco to burp the alphabet for us. Holy hell. Do I have a voice? I mean, what is it? I when I don't specify certain people, like when I was specifically doing Petri's voice there as like sort of the higher pitch thing. I think I would do the different voices depending on how I read the question out. So if it's like somebody making a dumb joke, dumb comment, it becomes like, wow, Caco, can you believe you're doing that thing? Wow, you forgot that arrow on the ground right behind you. Hey, did you know you left behind that arrowhead? Hey, Caco, you're missing the nail. You're not doing that right. Do it again, please. Like, sort of that. My real life voice is pretty close to Caco voice, so all she needs to do is comment normally. So in order to read in Twitch's voice, all I have to do is casually read out the voice in my own voice as normal. But then truly, what would that voice be? Because aren't all of the voices I do technically my voice? Did that kid just run through the fence? Probably. Young Waldo is very good at just running through everything. Just running around in circles. Look, there he goes. He just ran through that. Oh, he just ran through that tree. I'm pretty sure, yes, he did just run through that fence right there. You know, every time I come by Emerson's, that kid is always just running around. What if he's not living? What if he's a ghost? And this entire time, yeah, he's been dead for years. Here I am thinking he's alive and well. He's not. And I see my food stores are not in green anymore. So it's nice that I've sort of accidentally come across this. Is this just the sumac again? Yeah, but I've gotten a new comment on it. Hello there, Finisar, and welcome to the stream. Dead? Yeah, that's what it seems he was. He starved once the blueberry went out 30 years ago. Oh no. Man, but wait a second. Emerson isn't dead, is he? No, we saw him in that house. Wait a second. I don't think I went inside and gave Emerson that book at all. One of the reasons I went by the house was so I could give him back the book. I didn't even go inside and give it to him. Oh my god. Now I'm gonna have to turn around and walk back over and give it to him. But yeah, does that mean Emerson was hoarding all of the blueberries for himself, not giving any to his child? Jesus Christ, I can hold a lot of shit now that I increased my food capacity with the extra jars. I'm going to assume, hang on, I can open up my book and it tells me my food storage amount. Where am I at? Food, near maximum capacity. So, I'm good there. Hang on, what was that last one listed? Fully rested but uninspired. I'm not feeling very much inspiration right now. I need to go commune with some animals or just stand around in nature a little bit. It's eat or be eaten out there, and you can't share your blueberries with leeches. That's right, all that kid does all day is run around, even when he was still living. Can't give your precious blueberries to someone like that. Oh, Waldo's toy hoop, huh? Clean that up. I guess I'll take this too.
Oh, there you are, Henry. I almost miss seeing you so familiar as your shape there by our hearth. Lydian and I were just saying that we think of you almost as one of our own family now. So often do we see you here. Be sure you keep some time for your own work now, along with all the chores my wife puts you to. I hear the writing is finally going along well.
Thoreau, slacking on taking care of his own family, just hangs out with Emerson and his family all day.
You found my Plato. Good for you, Henry. I wanted to look at that passage about men's blindness to truth and the allegory of the cave. I know you know what I mean.
Definitely.
Yes,
Like every book I collect, I always
That's
read
good.
them.
I'd hoped you would, and that it would give you inspiration. Your own experiment is much like that of the man who leaves the cave and goes into the light, don't you think? And the rest of us, living in our safe houses, are the men left in the dark. I hope you won't think less of us for not braving the woods full time.
I mean, I'm not even braving it
I've
full
been
time.
searching them in vain for my Bhagavad Gita. I was reading it out near the Fairyland Meadow and seemed to have lost it. Have you seen it by any chance?
The fucking Fairyland Meadow,
I
seriously?
haven't seen it, but I can look for it.
Wonderful.
That shouldn't be difficult to
This
find.
naturey spot.
see you
Oh,
again
it's so
soon.
nice. I could picture fairies floating around here. Oh, wow. I'm going to call this area the Fairyland Meadow. Wow.
Thanks, Emerson. And goodbye, Twitchy. Thanks for coming on by to watch. And my, wood store is getting very low there. Before I actually start running over to wherever that book is at. Oh my god, the Fairyland Meadow is all the way over there on the right. Jesus Christ. I am definitely going to be ice skating over to that one. But I need to chop some wood. Whoop. Whoop. Alright. Here we go. Oh, whoop, missed. Okay, come on. You can aim, Thoreau. We've chopped a lot of logs before. Stop missing, you stupid. Buried Bodies Ditch Meadow. No, it's the Fairyland Meadow. I swear. It's not called anything else and has never been called anything else before. Man, it feels like you go faster the more you kind of continuously work at the task. Alright, pull out my lantern. It's so close to being end of the day now. I'm certainly not gonna make it to that book. And by extension, we've made it through the seasons. We've seen what they're all like now. The ice skating upon the pond, the springtime, the summertime. We've harvested up and grown some beans. We made some cash money. I'm teleporting back to my cabin now. I've got 44 pages written of my book. Actually, let's go ahead and spawn in Concord, since I have that gift quest from my sister. Is this my... Oh! Ooh. Pie! Your mother baked pie! Looking taking that shit, yes. Holy hell. Alright, so my sister has a gift somewhere.
Dear Henry, I have set a little game for you based on our own favorite board, the woods. Here is the first piece of the puzzle.
Fucking riddle.
I rise above the forest floor, where once I lay in days of yore. A gentle hand has made formation in places hidden, though not forbidden. Come find me if you seek inspiration. Bon chance, Sophia.
This sort of sounds like mushrooms or something. A little bit. And hello there, Pluto, and welcome to the stream, and thank you for the 100 bits. Here, buy yourself a V8. Certainly, I will definitely be taking those 100 bits and be using them towards a V8. And we've got various letters here. Is there anywhere else in the house I can go? Nope. That door is bolted shut. That door's bolted shut. Oh, I guess I'll take my mother's laundry. Just steal that. Thanks, Mom. Oh, look! It's my sister! This sounded like irony. I don't know what you mean. Alright, but since we've finished through the day, here we go. We've seen my home. Checked out this sick Christmas tree with presents underneath it even. We've got a cool writing desk and a book about the slavery in Massachusetts, which I can read here. I don't think she's going to get a V8. Probably not, well, welcome to the stream also. But I'm wrapping it up now. This is the end of the stream. We went through all of the seasons. We made it through basically close enough to a year of David Thoreau. I think that's enough of it. It's humorous. I guess humorous isn't quite the right word. It's interesting. Walden is. I think it's funny that they have it subtitled to Walden, a game. That part I find humorous. I think it's interesting that they have it set after the life of Henry David Thoreau. Even if it's like... you don't do anything crazy on it. And I'd say it's kind of on the simpler side in terms of survival, but since kind of the focus is for you to take or at least what it seems like to me, to take things relatively slowly, to pick up the arrowheads as you're doing things, so you can like be working and walking around and listening to him, you know, come up with various little philosophies and commentary on what he's experiencing. But makes it a nice little game to play. But that places us at the end of the stream for today. Thank you, everybody, for coming on by to watch. Thank you for those who have followed, and for those who have subscribed, resubscribed. Oh, just toss that command in chat there. And so, thank you, everyone, as always. Let me just set up a raid here. Let's see. I don't recall who we've raided most recently last week over the weekend. So how about I just... we'll send you over to Steven, yeah? CC is short for Clown Caco. Yeah, that's definitely it. It definitely does not stand for chat's choice at all. Thank you for all coming. We'll raid Steven. He's playing some Nut tonight. Go check him out. Hope everybody has a good time. Probably tomorrow I'll be playing Journey, I think. I think I've got that set up to where it's good to go, so we'll see how it is. Yeah? Alright, so thanks everybody, and I'll see you next time.